black skin, white mask. Already know that life gets hard, and they say that we're used to the harshness. If it wasn't for the pain, I'd laugh. Truth is we knew about light before dark. Turned music to art and taught everyone to dance. And still no chance. Freedom must be too much to ask. Bleeding from the ache in my heart. Sometimes I wish it was whites in the middle like France. No, I'm not racist, just jarred. Got hate before bush, not plants. They say we should leave it all in the past, but my brother's still dying on the end, so I can't. So if my attitude stinks, don't ask, cause a hashtag won't help you understand my stance. Fuck a melody, this is real rap if you ever see. Head hot, cause the system won't let me be. Tell me how I thrive in a place that don't cherish me. And they wonder why we all need therapy. Pre the energy, yeah, just another nigga to Penelope. And they don't get it how we bottom of the barrel and still drip sauce on the world, no recipe. Weight of the world on my shoulders, all the pressures in life still tightly holding me. Pour libation for all of the fallen soldiers, but the pain still goes unspoken. They want us to stay broken, never gonna fold, fuck folding. I see my people lost hope, shit, don't you know we all been chosen.
We are oppressed, we are exploited, we are downtrodden, we are denied not only civil rights but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy.
Forgive me if you don't understand. Sorry, I'm just misunderstood. Punished if I try to take a stand. Meanwhile, my friends dying in the hood. And you can say that we're killing ourselves, but truth is they're killing us still. How you saying Black Lives Matter but never took a moment to help? Just a trend that you post for yourself. And yeah, it takes a toll on my health, cause I want wealth like everyone else, but it's 10 times harder for me. And they wonder why my brothers put food on a scale. Yeah, when I die I'll see heaven, that's real. Cause we already living in hell. Wish I could share all the pain I felt. Oh well, I guess I won't speak till my scars do heal. I just wanna be black with a meal. Yeah, that's for every time I had no meals. Cause my mother couldn't keep up the bills. With a handful of kids, no home, just a cell. And I don't care if conscious don't sell. Knowledge brings height to an elf. Went from sitting on thrones to a cell. Been blessed, man, it wasn't by chance we fell. Weight of the world on my shoulders, all the pressures in life still tightly holding me. Pour libation for all of the fallen soldiers, but the pain still goes unspoken. They want us to stay broken, never gonna fold, fuck folding. I see my people lost hope, shit, don't you know we all been chosen.
Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Yeah, this is real life. Kaa kimya skia. Real talk. We're coming from the ghetto. Kinondoni, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania mpaka UK. The world finest. Yeah, pambana kijana. Life is too hard, life is too short. Shaa kwa nango cha ghetto. Usikate tamaa. Jua kwamba ipo siku tutatoboa. Tutatoka. Gang for life.
I am the true name.
Yes, blessed love family, blessed love. We are here once again. Blessed love, peace and unity. I think you're the only one in the room for today. I know there's people that have got a lot of commitments tonight. Wonderful. Thank you, my sister. How have you guys been, man? Put up for one if you've been great. The weather's been amazing, man. We are people of the sun. We are melanated people. So surely we've all been great. But put up a one if you've been great. And put up a 2 if, you know, there's been some challenges and some struggles along the way. And we'll send out our blessings and our prayers for you. Yeah? So how's everyone been? As you can see, I'm finally taking out my braids. I finally managed to get a clear 3-4 hours where I can just sit down, do nothing, and actually take the bloody braids out. My God, they were crusty and stale. So I've got the Afua rocking tonight. It's just the top of my hair, really. Everyone wants me to grow back the back and sides, but I don't know. It's all a bit too much. Big up and blessings to all the people that have put up a 2. Love and peace in you. I've seen you've put up a 1 and a 2, so it's a mixed bag. I send out lots of love and light to you guys, man. I really, really do. And you know how much I love and treasure you as the core His Time Is Up family, because you're always the first to jump on. You see the first couple of 100 people, they're always the faithful people. That's what I've noticed. It's always the same names that come on every week. Brown Sugarful, big up yourself, my sister, every single time. I see you there. I'm due a call with you, sis. I'm really, really due a call with you. So look out for that one. That's coming soon. So guys, listen, you might have seen my Instagram this week and also my Facebook. And so therefore you'll know the topic that we're going to be talking about tonight. And it's a very peculiar tale. It's quite fantastical, actually, on the face of it. But as we do here, we listen impartially and we hear what sister has to say. And we hear the evidence that's laid out. And in this case, we have a lot of genealogical evidence, because it's one of them ones, you know, it's one of them ones. It's one of them ones that opens the victim to be called crazy, to be called mad, to be called unstable, you know, all of the usual cliches that we hear coming out. And what I usually say to people is that, you know, you can be as unstable as you like, but that doesn't mean that you're not a victim. Yeah. So sister's waiting patiently backstage. She wants to tell her testimony. As I said, it's a deep, deep story. It really, really is. It's coming out of Birmingham. And as usual, I want you to give plenty, plenty, plenty love to the sister. Welcome to the stage, Sister Sally. Blessed love, hello. Sally. Blessed love, sis. You're live, hello, sister. Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, hi. We can hear you. We can hear you really well.
Okay, that's great. Good. Hello.
Yeah,
hi, everyone.
Blessed love, sis. Blessed love. So now, where's the His Time Is Up welcome for the sister, man? I can't see enough here. What's going on? Can see some regulars. Let's give the sister some love, all right? So, sis, when you first told me this tale, I was cynical. I'm going to be honest with you, because it is so fantastical. It is so deep and insane. On the face of it, it's pretty hard to believe, isn't it? But one of the things that, after, you know, speaking to you...
It's so hard to believe. It took me a few years to understand and believe it myself. Like, it took me months to accept things, to then start believing things, and then start understanding what's actually happened over the years that I knew this person.
All right, so we're going to hear all about that in a minute. But one of the things that struck me about your story as I delved deeper and deeper and spoke to you more and more was how consistent your story was. And it also, what kind of compelled me as well, I think, is the fact that there was also a consistency, a thread that ran through your family in terms of what you had always complained about with them, and also changes in your personality around the key times that you're talking about to them. Now, it has to be said that none of them have ever witnessed that. And that's all going to become apparent when you tell your story, why that is. Yeah. So, yeah, we're talking about, guys, in case you haven't seen any of the social media posts on Instagram and Facebook, we're talking about tonight Luca Knight, aka Ras Luca. It's an interesting name, actually, because he doesn't look like a Rasta. But, you know, sometimes Rasta is in the heart. So his nickname is Ras Luca, and his full name is Luca Knight. Now, I've spoken to Luca, and Sally, you're fully aware that Luca is going to come on tonight as well at some stage.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So hopefully he does. Hopefully he still does. He says he'll be on, you know, as soon as he can. And as soon as I put out the link, if you are watching Luca, you'll be able to come on and chat to us. Okay. So sis, take us from the beginning. tell us how you met Luca, how you know him, all of that kind of stuff, and just tell us where all of this started for to begin with.
Well, I actually met him through someone I was kind of seeing. Let's see. This was when I was about 20, 21, 39 now.
Okay.
And this was while I was working at a surgery, and someone was coming in. He was working for a company, and he would come in like every week, and we sort of got to know each other. And then he left a note on my car one day, but the number on the car wasn't his telephone number. It was actually Luca's. So when I called the number, it was Luca, and I was like, you're not the person that left the number. And he was like, oh yeah, I know who this is. My friend has said whatever about you, and I'll get him to phone you. So that's how I actually met him. And then, yeah, me and the friend of his, we started sort of seeing each other, and then it was sort of strange. I got weed off of Luca. I asked the guy I was seeing if he knew anyone that sold weed, and he said, yeah, my friend, that number that you called. So I started sort of getting weed off of him, and that was how I met him and how I knew him. And
you know,
over
and
time,
I understand that many kind of friendships, relationships, acquaintances are often formed in weed transactions, you know, so I get that.
yeah, I have a few friends that way, to be fair.
Yeah, me
And
too.
yeah, it's strange where to start with this, because it's like I didn't actually realize anything that he'd been doing to me until 2020.
So in all the
So
time that you've known him, from when you were 21 up at you're 39 now, and up until 2020, you didn't actually realize what you're about to tell us.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even know how to say it. Basically, while I would what I've realized is basically while I would be getting weed from him, and my drink would be down the side, like in between the seats in my cup holder, he would be slyly drugging my drink. And I've started realizing that because I would start feeling aroused suddenly. And I would obviously go home because I've got to go to work the next day. And then I would wake up late for work. My mum would be like bursting into the room saying, aren't you going to be going to work? It's 8 o'clock in the morning. And I would have to jump up and get ready for work and go to work and be late, which was causing problems in my life as well. And yeah, he was just doing that over time. And then I know this will sound crazy, but I've also come to realize that I started having dreams while I was living at my parents' house of someone coming into my room, a man coming to my bed. And then that's the first dreams that I remember, and it was quite consistent. And then I would also started my sister as well. It started happening to my sister. And we both the same dream, and we both started like every weekend waking up and being very aggressive in the house and like angry about things, like very aggressive. And my sister, I think eventually after a while, she moved to somewhere to do a university course, so she wasn't living at home. I was. And this was still happening to me every weekend. Saturday morning I would wake up and I would be very aggressive and angry in the house, and eventually I got kicked out of the house because of this behavior. and I was told
So
that
stick a pin
you
there.
don't
Stick a
even
pin there.
remember that you've done this. Like, you don't remember how angry you've been and what you've done, and you've smashed things and things. And it was also happening at
Just stick
work.
a pin there. Stick a pin for me, sis. So your
Yeah,
sister goes away. She was experiencing the same things when she was at home. She goes
yeah.
away to uni, and at that
And
point,
her
I'm
behaviour has
assuming,
also started getting quite
but I'm
aggressive and sort
assuming,
of angry with everyone as well.
yeah, while she was in the house. But I'm sort
Yeah,
of inquiring. Then let me not assume when she went to uni. Clearly, she's gone out of the house, so she's out of harm's way.
yeah.
Did her behaviour improve at that point?
Yeah, I do remember she was quite happy at uni, and she did well and passed a degree and everything. So
That's a fundamental point, and that's why I asked. But go ahead.
and so yeah, it was happening to me. I was going to work and I was acting aggressive as well, and I was forgetting things and wasn't doing my job properly like I would usually be doing. And I remember the one workplace I was at, they started saying to me, like, I was obviously talking to the two women that I worked with in the office, and when I got kicked out and I got my own place, they noticed a big change in me, and they were saying, like, we don't think you're able to look after yourself, that we think something's going on with you. And they actually said, this friend that you say comes round, Luca, we think he's doing something to you. And I was like, I says, I don't know what you're on about. You're being silly. Like, what on earth could he be doing? He's my only friend, because I'm fighting with all my family now and my friends. I'm isolating myself. I'm not behaving like a normal person. I'm angry. I'm isolating. I'm always depressed and upset about past things and just not feeling good at all. My body would be hurting, and I just wasn't behaving normal suddenly, and
Sorry,
I started
Rap,
arguing with
sorry,
friends as well.
can I just hold fire one just for a moment?
Yeah.
Because Luca is actually phoning my Instagram at the moment. So let me just explain to him that if he wants to talk, then he needs to come on the live, okay? Yeah, sorry about that, my dear. I was
Hello.
just trying to explain to him that if he wants his say, he needs to come live, basically. And I was explaining to him how to join, and the fact that he will not get a private link like you have. He will get the public link when I put it into the chats, and then he can join. Okay.
Okay.
All right, no worries. So go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you, sis.
Where was I?
You were talking about when you eventually got kicked out of home.
Oh, yes. And the women at work started saying that we think this guy that you say is your friend is doing something to you. And I started arguing with the women and, you know, saying he's my friend and this and that and whatnot. And I would also suddenly, I would sort of the same time every year, around like November, October, I would start feeling like I've got the flu and sickness and body aches, and then it would turn into very bad mental sort of symptoms and just not being good at all, just behaving like I'm mad and things, and feeling like I'm ill and not being able to work and having to go off sick or something. And then I wouldn't be able to sort of pay my rent, and then I would have to move back to my parents because they tell me, come home now, like you're not okay, you're not well. Like no one would understand what was wrong with me. And then I would move back home, and then I would start feeling a bit okay. And then also what would happen is I would start, my weight was going up and down very badly. So I would look very, very skinny. And then I would move back home and I would start eating every night a lot. My sister-in-law started saying to my mum, like, what's wrong with her? I can hear her going up and down with food, up and down the stairs all night. And then I would start putting weight back on. Then I would start feeling okay. And then it would happen again. I would start getting weed from Luca or going like just chilling out as friends with him, even with my other friends. And a strange thing happened as well with another friend of mine that I don't speak to anymore because we had an argument. I was acting aggressive towards her and we had an argument. And this was when I met Luca as well. And there was a couple of times when I was with my friend and he met us, and like we'd go to the park or something and just smoke and chill out. And one day I remember she couldn't find her keys, and I remember she also had this dream of someone came into her bed and was like hugging her and stuff all night. We actually made a joke about it.
So this was your friend now?
Yes, this was like when I was like first met him, 21 years old.
Okay.
And so she also started behaving strange. Like I would meet her and we would smoke, and then I'd take her home. And then after a while, she started saying to me, I feel like I can't be without you. Like I feel like I don't feel okay unless I'm with you. When I'm with you, I start feeling okay. And I was like, oh, made a joke. Okay, don't act like you love me so much and silly things like that. And she also started fainting a lot while she's like out in the day. She's fainting and not feeling okay. And she would actually sometimes stay with me in my house. She would in my house, in my bedroom, and my dad's bringing us food because she wouldn't be well, and sometimes I wouldn't be well.
So there seems to be like people that were around you, like your sister, your friend, that were affected in the same way that you were affected, having unexplained weird dreams,
yes,
all that kind of stuff.
yes.
So what is it that you came to realize in 2020 was the cause of this? But before you answer that, what did you think was happening at the time?
I just thought I was unwell. I was going to the doctor saying, I think I've got bipolar or something, and I keep getting unwell and things like that. And there was one doctor that also actually said to me, this friend that comes round when you're unwell, what's his name? And I said his name, and she was saying to me, get cameras and this and that. And because there was a few incidents during 2019 that happened that I told her about. And so instead of like telling the police, I was telling the doctors because I was thinking I'm mad and, you know, these things can't really be happening. These things didn't really happen. I can't, you know, they're so crazy. They couldn't really have happened. But during 2020, I started realizing and remembering flashes of things, and I was actually denying, you know, your magic, those things couldn't have happened.
Just let me ask you, at the point in 2020,
Mm-hmm.
how long had it been since you'd seen him when you kind of start waking up in 2020 and start realizing that something is not quite right? How long had it been?
Well, it was what happened was in 2019, I got a message from his kid's mom. I can't remember what they were saying, but I just remember I sent a screenshot of him calling me like every night, every day. And I was saying, like, I'm not with him. I don't want to be with him. He's always calling me. And then I think I had a conversation with him of him asking me why I did that. And I'm like, I don't know why they're saying to me I'm mad. I don't want to be with you. So, like, why do you act strange around me and act like you're with me when you're not with me, and I don't want to be with you or someone like you? Because I had been dating other people during knowing him and actually telling him about other people I'd met. And there was a guy that I had been seeing who had actually seen him coming into my place while I was actually on the phone to Luca and actually saying that this guy that I know that I'm seeing is coming round, and my door knocked and it was Luca. And I'm like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Go away. Like, you know, someone's coming around. The guy is a boxer as well. So what are you doing? And I told him he's like walking towards me, like he's going to grab me and do something. And I'm like saying, what are you doing? Go away. And so as he left, the guy that I'm seeing came in. So that almost caused an argument with us. And so then I messaged him and I told him, like, why are you acting crazy? Stay with your baby moms. I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't want to be with you. And after this was a few years before 2019, when I was living in a different place, because it was kept happening every year that I was getting ill and then having to move out of where I was back home to my parents. And then I would start feeling better, get a job, and then it would start happening again because I've moved somewhere else. And then it would start happening again each year. So then that's why the doctor was saying to me as well, you need to start writing down like when this happens and things like that. And I wasn't really paying attention to what she was saying, really. And I remember sometimes my moods would be really, really high and happy, and then they would go to the extremes of lows, and I would have pains every evening as well. And then the next day when I've woken up and I've drank water, I would start feeling awake and have energy and feeling okay. And so in 2019, that happened, and I remember I blocked him in 2019, and I didn't see him at all. I thought I didn't see him, and I was just carrying on with my life and everything because I wasn't with him anyway. So I was quite happy that he's not phoning me every day, wanting to come around every day, which, you know, he was doing that. So during 2019, I started having very high and low moods, like extremely high moods, feeling very happy and thinking everything is so wonderful. But then it would go to very low extremes of hating everybody and feeling almost vengeful and angry at people and
so
hating myself as well, and
2020
remembering bad traumas from my past, and strange things were happening in my house. Like, I would go downstairs in the morning and my front door wouldn't be locked, but I've locked it and the key is in the door, so you can't lock it from outside. So I'm sure I've locked my door. Like, I thought I was going mad. I keep leaving my door unlocked, and things would go missing, and my bank card would go missing, and I thought I was going mad because I would see things in my garden. I thought I saw a figure in my garden and things like that, and there would be rubbish in my garden, and I thought that was my neighbor throwing rubbish in my garden, because I didn't really go in my garden because I had this, like, I would always feel scared of going in my garden, and I was always feel like I'm being watched as well. And
so all of this is going on,
Yeah.
Bring us now to you were going to say something happened in 2019 when I asked you about 2020 and when you woke up.
Yeah, because this isn't even like the tip of the iceberg. There's like very, very
I know.
scary, horrible events that I have memories of, that I know it was him, because he was on top of me saying, it's me, it's me, it's me. And
Okay,
then injecting me. So
just so that people can understand where you are, because you and I know what we're talking about, but I don't think it's clear to everyone that's listening.
yeah.
What is it that you realized in 2020 was happening to you?
That basically he was stalking me. He was making other people sort of harass me, be like on my drive, looking in my car. And I actually remember when that actual event happened, that was in 2019. There was this skinny guy at my car, all dressed in black, looking into my car, and I'm knocking on the window saying, "What are you doing? Fuck off." And he's saying, what I thought was, I'm looking, but he was pointing across the road, like up the road. Now I realize what he was saying was, it's Luca, not I'm looking, because I actually phoned the police and I said to them, he's saying something about I'm looking, and now he's ran up the road. And now I realize that was
So he
him
was stalking
harassing me and
you.
terrorizing me. Yes, because I always saw this silver Mercedes parked on my road. And
Okay,
when I started
so
realizing that I kept seeing that car. Yeah.
sis. We'll get into all of that in a minute. So he's stalking you. And what else do you believe he was doing to you? Hence
He
your
was
behavior.
breaking into my house and he was drugging my food and my drink, and he was hiding in my house and he was hiding in my garden. And when I would make a drink at night in my kitchen, he would be drugging my drink from the window or making someone else do it. And he was then when I'm thinking that I'm knocking out for bed and I'm stumbling up the stairs to go to bed and dropping onto my bed and knocking out, he's then coming in and injecting me and putting heroin inside of me anally. And
You okay, sis? You can take a break if you need. Take 5, don't feel no way. Yeah? You there?
and he was drugging me with things that would make me wake up, and I would actually be engaging in things with him. And I can remember a scene where there's 2 other men, I know the names of them, that are in my room, and I'm doing things with them, all 3 of them and him. And
So essentially, sis, you don't have to go through that if you don't want to talk about that right now. I know it's upsetting for you. So essentially, he was drugging you and assaulting you sexually.
And I can even remember one time that I wasn't actually fully knocked out and I'm in my bed, and through the crack of my door, I saw a person and I got so scared and I turned around, think I get my phone, and the next thing I know, he's burst into my room and he's jumped on top of me. And I gone to get my hammer and he's grabbed my arms and he's saying, it's me, it's me, it's me. And then he's gone down to my feet and he's injecting me. And I remember that, and I know he remembers that as well. He remembers more that he's done to me than what I fucking remember, and he fucking knows it. And not only was he doing that, he was breaking into my parents' house and drugging my parents and taking my nephews and trying to get them hooked on drugs as well. I fucking know what you were fucking doing, you piece of fucking shit.
All right, sis. Can we keep the swearing just to a minimum, simply because YouTube will pull the video down if it's too much swearing, okay? That's the only reason I'm asking you to do that. I understand how you feel. Are you where you said you were going to be earlier on?
Yes, I am, yes.
Fantastic. So you're supported where you are now. That's brilliant stuff.
You mean I'm restrained? If I want to run out, I'll fucking find him.
Yeah. So, know, by all means, express yourself, my darling. And, but try and keep the swearing to a minimum if you can. Yeah.
There's much more things that he was doing. much more things that he was doing to try and terrorize me and terrorize my family, and asking me, where does this person live? Where does that person live? Where does this person live? Even, see, the thing is, he was doing these things to me, but he was doing it to people that he thought had upset me as well. Because if I'm like, met him after work and I'm like, oh, this patient said this and that, where do they live? What the fuck you want to know where people live for?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why is everything, where do they live? Where do they live?
Mm-hmm. We're hearing you, sis. So you come to this realization in 2020 that he's been
Yeah.
drugging, breaking in,
But
all the things that you're talking about.
before I'd actually come to that realization,
Yeah.
I had gone through really bad withdrawal in 2019 of these drugs that he was using on me, to the point where my mom and my family were going to section me because they didn't know what was wrong with me and I didn't know what was wrong with me. And I was so scared that I was going to be sectioned that I didn't go to the doctor straight away to say, this is what's happening to me. Because I know the health system and everything.
Yeah, of course. Listen,
So,
everything that you described to me, and I need to say this to everybody as well, the symptoms that the sister's describing about the confusion, the brain fog, not understanding why she's in low mood, not understanding why she's acting aggressive, having flashback dreams and things like this, those are really classic symptoms of somebody who's been consistently drugged over an extended period of time. Particularly if it's a date rape drug, for instance, like Rohypnol or one of those things. And if he was administering heroin, then that definitely would have been the case. He would have been completely out of it.
it wasn't just heroin he was using a different drugs on me to make me feel different things, so that I almost wouldn't really realize what he's doing to me. Because he would say to me, I'm a pharmacist, and then he would say, no, what's the other one that gives the drugs? And I'm like, what do you mean? Why are you saying you're that? Like, who do you give drugs to? How do you give drugs to people? Like, I thought, oh, you just grow it and sell it.
Well, look, it isn't the first time that we've heard stories of drugging, and definitely not out of Birmingham. Dylan Duffus has been accused of it several times.
And he's friends with Dylan Duffus, and he's part of whatever crew that they are that do these things and break into people's houses, stalk women, break into their homes, try and kidnap children, get them hooked on drugs, get them into criminality, get them doing things so they don't have their prints on things, so they can have plausible deniability and shit like that.
So he's friends with Dylan Duffus?
Yes.
Oh. Well, that's interesting.
And I have a memory of them as well. I don't really want to go into that, but I know I have a memory of them. Them, not just him, them.
It's very interesting for us that there's an association and similar allegations, but go ahead, sis.
So during 2019, after he'd done that to me and I thought I was going mad, I started feeling okay and feeling all right. And then I hadn't seen him. I thought I hadn't seen him throughout all that year. And then I think it was late 2019. I think it was December, maybe, I think. And he called me and I was like, oh, I haven't seen you for ages. I actually forgot about him, but I'm thinking I forgot about him because the trauma made me think he doesn't exist, because I might have killed myself, because a few times I did try, not knowing that it's because he's done these things to me. I just started realizing something's been happening to me in this house. Someone's been in my garden. Something's been happening to me. I'm not sure exactly what, but something's been happening. And I did call the police and tell them. And because I sounded mad, they didn't really listen to me.
Classic.
So I started feeling okay suddenly. And he came round, and it was funny because when he came round, I opened the door and I remember I locked my car and the light flashed, and he came in and went, what are you doing that for? And I was like, well, because some weirdo was like at my car, so I'm just making sure it's locked. I always do it. And he started like just asking me strange things and behaving strange, and I even remember saying to him, like, I'm getting this feeling like I shouldn't speak to you and you shouldn't be here or something. And I said to him, I was feeling really, really unwell. Like, I don't know what was wrong with me. My mum and my aunt were going to section me. And I says, I feel all right now. And he says, how? And I was like, I don't know. I just feel all right now. And I'm kind of thinking, was he asking that because I know now that he takes heroin himself, because I've seen him. Obviously, I'm remembering things now, and I've seen him sitting at mine. He's gone upstairs, asked to use the toilet. He's gone upstairs, and I remember I didn't hear the toilet flush this one time that he did it, and he's come down and his head is nodding down, nodding away, and he's dropped to sleep. And I'm trying to wake him up so we can go, because I don't want him sleeping there. I've never wanted him to stay round. So I'm telling him, get up, go. No, actually lie. I have wanted him to stay around when I've felt really like unwell and I'm on my own in my flat and I'm fighting with my family and he's the only one that's coming round, and I'm fighting with the women at work, telling them, oh no, he's my only friend. Like, what could he be doing to me? He's my only friend, because they're asking me about things, and obviously they could tell something's wrong. And I think even one of them started saying something to me about drugs, and I'm like, what are you saying? I take drugs? No, I don't. And I was arguing with them, and I was having big problems at my workplace, and yeah, this was just happening for years. And
so it's happening for years, from when you're 21 all throughout the time you've known him, and then you get to around 2019.
Yeah, so when he'd come round and he's asking me, what you done that for, when I've done the car and everything, and I'm starting to feel okay. And then he just sort of coming round as normal, and I was feeling normal, all right. And
what do you think was the trigger for you to start remembering? Because I'm assuming
the things that he was asking me. He was asking me strange things. Like, I'll be watching a program and he was asking me, what would you do if that happened to you, when a woman's getting drugged and raped and waking up not knowing what's happened? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I'd probably tell my family and this and that and this and that. And then he's asking me things about, what school do your niece and nephew go to? And things. And I'm like, why are you asking me that for? Now I'm understanding he's asking me that because he's arming himself, because he wants to know what I would do and what he can plan.
But also the fact that he you know, from what you're telling us, because these are just allegations, we can't say if they're true or they're not true. You're telling your story, that's your truth. But at this point, you know, he's starting to kind of allude to things that he's actually done to you, and that is actually a sure way. I'm sure he didn't know that, but it's a sure way to start to jog your memory in those circumstances, definitely.
Yeah, so he's asking me things, and so I think I even maybe told him one of the events.
Sorry, I'm still here. I'm still here. If I turn my camera off, I'm just going to turn my camera off for a second. Okay, go ahead.
What was I going to say?
Go ahead, sis.
So yeah, while he's coming around during the early 2020, and I'm feeling okay, and then I kind of started feeling strange again, and I actually started like wanting to have drugs.
Okay,
and
that would be normal. Yep.
And saying like phoning him and asking him to bring me something, and then I do remember sleeping, like not sleeping with him, but he came round and literally like had sex with me and was choking me quite a lot as well, and then went, and then I think there was someone in the car outside. And he what I'm realizing now, he'd met a very young girl, and he'd actually sort of told me before, like, this, me asking him for drugs and things, he was telling me, and I was saying, Like, how old is she? Like, if she's not like 19 or 20, that's not too bad. And I think he was saying she's 25 or something, and I was like, oh, that's not too bad, because her brain's fully developed now, at least. But it's still weird that you're like, you know, what, 40 or something, and you're with someone that young. And I actually remember saying to him, like, oh, good you've met someone, because now you can leave me alone. Like, I would say strange things to him that I wouldn't really understand why I'm saying it, because I'm not. It was just strange things that I would say. Like, one time I was watching this program, and he's asking me things, because I would be very drawn to programs about psychos and things like that. And I was watching a program, and he's asking me, what should the person do if they're doing bad things and they don't want to do them anymore, and strange things like that. And I remember watching something, and it said something about like psychos, they'll have this dead look behind their eyes. And I looked at him and I said, that's you. And he looked like quite angry with me. And I drink this. And yeah, so he's asking me strange things and kind of jogging my memory now. And but then I'm also thinking I want drugs, and I'm feeling like starting to feel strange again, and fighting with my family again. And then I think he came round. He's like, in the daytime, he started to try and come round, and I remember saying to him, like, can you go, because I'm going to go home to my family. And he looked upset about that, like as if his plans are not working. Because every time this would happen, I would always say to him, he would always try and come round, and I would say, I'm going to my family's house, can you go? Because I'd spend the day with my family and then go home and do what I need to do, and wake up the next morning and do that, or go to work the next morning and go see my family, and that's it. It's pretty much my life, see my friends, and that was my life. And so he's met someone, and now he's acting like strange, like dropping off drugs and then going and then acting strange with me. And then I started thinking that I wanted to be with him. And in all the years I've known him, I've never wanted to be with him. He said to me, oh, I think I like you more than I should. And I've told him, shut up. Don't be silly. You know, you don't. And so I did start messaging, because he wasn't coming around, like, to give me drugs now, I'm guessing. And I started messaging him and wanting him to say, you know, I want to be with you and things like that. And kind of like the way my friend was saying to me, I feel like I can't be without you. And, you know, started acting strange suddenly. And I only kind of made this connection over these past few years. I've been making these connections and understanding things and talking to family and friends and remembering things. And they're like, oh yeah, remember you were like this, and then you'd be like this and like that. And it's also funny how, since he's not been able to have like this kind of access to me, I haven't had these suddenly getting unwell and things and weird things happening in my house and in my family's house, and my family's getting burgled, and my dad's and my brother's van always getting burgled when they're gone to work, or things like that, to the point where the police are asking us, are you being targeted? And we're like, well, no, we don't have any qualms with anyone. Why would we be getting targeted? So, you know. And also the car being parked on my road, I actually, because I thought like he couldn't really have done these things to me when I started. After I stopped thinking I wanted to be with him, I started remembering really what he was doing to me, like breaking into my house and doing things.
Are you saying that you starting to say to him, I want to be with you and stuff, those were delusions?
Yeah.
On the back of the drugging. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
So then once I sort of stopped feeling this needy, this sort of not okay feelings, I started remembering things. But I started working in a surgery somewhere, and I was fine. I was doing all right. And I started speaking to one of the doctors and asking them, like, would it be possible if someone was able to drug you and you wouldn't know? And she said to me, yes, but you would also go through the withdrawal. And it's like little things that people were saying to me was jogging my memory. And when she said that to me, it's like everything clicked and I started realizing, hang on, all these years that I was feeling unwell and the way that I was feeling unwell was him and whatever drugs he was using on me. Because that point I didn't know what drugs he was using and what he was doing and how he was doing it. I only started realizing by talking to my family members and them saying, oh yeah, you were like this. And specifically one family member who I was speaking to a lot about it, and we know someone that is also had a problem with heroin. And I would say to him a lot over the years, because we would go and watch a movie and eat and chill out, and I would say to him, oh, I feel like this and I feel like that. And one day he said to me, oh, you sound like him. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, he tells me he feels like this and he feels like that. You all those symptoms you're telling me is what he feels. So I started remembering things, and my cousins was like telling me, oh, do you remember this and what when you were saying this and that? And sort of over the years speaking to people and remembering things, I started putting things together of what he's done. And it was like every day I would remember something new. I would have nightmares. I wouldn't be able to sleep. I would wake up with something new in my head. I would literally, for 6 months, I was only sleeping for minutes a day. And
it sounds completely horrendous, sis. It really, really does. Tell
that's
us
not even everything. There's more. But
I know it's years
and
years.
he knows there's more, because he knows exactly what he's done.
Tell us
He
a little
knows
bit
exactly
about.
what he's done.
Tell us a little bit about a bit more about your nephew and how how that went down. Or you don't want to talk about your nephew too much?
Well, I do, because I think people should know exactly what he's capable of and how sickening he is and what a demonic, sick thing he is.
Okay.
Basically, I remember I started remembering this only a few months ago, actually. And I was actually having flashes of certain things, but I was really trying to tell myself, no, 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 no. Now you're making things up. Now you're crazy. But they've been consistent, the flashes, the images and the things. And I actually started drinking as well. So I was drinking to not remember things. And then I stopped drinking. And quite a few months after that, I started remembering these things to do with my nephew. And I started remembering things that he used to say when he was young. And one specific thing where he woke up saying 4 men came and took me, and they took me somewhere and they made me do things, and they made me drink something, and they said they threatened me with a knife, and they said they're going to kill my little sister, and they knew everybody's name. And I was like, this does not sound like a dream. We need to call the police. And obviously, from what I'm realizing and learning about trauma and things, I think my family just didn't want to believe that that could have really happened, because also he's woken up in his own bed. So why would you think someone's taken him and done these things if he's woken up in his own bed with us? And he actually started having problems in school as well. And the teachers were saying he's like very withdrawn and things like that, when he was like, I think in like year 3 or 4.
So he was very young at the time when you're alleging that these things took place. Very young.
Yes. Yes.
Year 3. Yeah,
and he also said then that I was calling you. I was calling for all of you, and no one was coming.
Bless you, sis.
I wanna fucking kill you, you fucking
Okay. Sis. Just going to mute you for a little while until you and give you some time, sis. Yeah. I'm just going to give you a little bit of time. Take your time, sister.
And I actually told Luca this. And he started asking me, so what are you going to do? You're going to call the police? What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's asking me a bit after, how is he? And then he's asking me, what does your nephew like? And things like that. And I'm like, why are you asking me that for? Is it because you've got kids that age and you want to know to get them something or something? I'm rationalizing these things he's saying to me, and we're in the house rationalizing, and me in the house trying to rationalize things that are happening, because you wouldn't fucking think that these things are real. You wouldn't think someone's doing these things to you, would you? Would you?
No, I hear you.
Especially if you've not done anything to anyone. You're not in no gang or nothing. You ain't doing anything to no one. You're just picking up weed from someone you think is your friend, to the point where you're arguing with your people at work because they're saying to you, oh, we think he's doing something to you. And you're like, oh, no, he's my friend. No, he wouldn't do anything. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
So I'm wondering as well, you know, what was it with your work colleagues that made them arrive at that? Was there something about him that they, you know, didn't sit well with them, or would they just know, you know, why would they say that? Are they work colleagues that kind of know you outside of work? Do you know what I mean?
Because when I first started working, I was living at home and everything was fine, and I wasn't saying anything about this friend or anything. And then also one of the women at work, I think her son had a problem with drugs, so she was kind of noticing things like I would be really itchy as well and things. And I know that that's heroin, and I think crystal meth as well. Crystal meth is something that makes you itchy as well. And
there are other opiate drugs that make you itchy too, that can be used to sedate you or anesthetize you. There are other drugs as well, but definitely those are the main culprits for sure, for sure.
So I remember them saying something to me about you taking certain drugs and things, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't. I just smoke weed, and I would be smoking a lot of weed as well, and going into work smelling of weed, and it was just causing me problems because I wasn't able to function or anything. And then so then with my nephew, then he started saying sort of things about these friends. So we don't see him with any friends or anything, like apart from the ones we know, because he doesn't go anywhere without obviously his mom or anyone. And you know, I'm asking him about these friends, and even one night I put him to bed and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna go see my friends, and he was like excited to go to sleep. And I was like, that's strange. Okay, like he's got imaginary friends or something. And now I'm realizing he was taking him to, I think maybe around his sons. I think his sons might have seen him, or most definitely his cousin's kids, because he was being taken to his cousin's house. I really don't understand this, to be honest. What I'm telling you right now, I really don't even understand what I'm telling you, to be honest.
I get that.
I know this because I would pick up weed off his cousin sometimes, and his cousin, I think, saw a picture of my nephew and said, who's that boy? And also one time he was asking me, he's telling me to go inside and use the toilet. I think you should go inside. And I'm like, no, I'm all right. I'll be able to make it home. And now I'm realizing my nephew was inside that house. And his cousin knows. His family have seen my nephew. And I even remember saying something about something to do with my nephew or someone to Luca, and he went, I know him. I says, what do you mean you know him? I said, what the fuck are you talking about? Do you mean you know him because I've said something about him now, or what do you mean? He just went quiet. Because I'm noticing I've learnt as well with certain drugs, they almost kind of make you say things you wouldn't want to say.
Yeah, they lower the inhibitions, definitely.
Like heroin makes you compliant. You'll do something and you won't understand why you're doing it, but you'll be doing it. And
so, sis, what can I ask you? What would you say? Because you know I've spoken to Luca. Hopefully, he will jump on in a bit. And he obviously denies everything.
Of course he is. He's not going to say, oh, yes, I've done these things. He doesn't want people to know what he really is, what a demonic thing from hell he really is.
Yeah. But what do you say to people that would say that this is completely off the scale? There's no way this is believable. What would you say to those people?
I didn't believe it myself at first. I was telling myself, you're crazy, there's no way you could do this. I even remember telling a friend about that dream of him coming in and jumping on top of me and things, and I said, like, it had to have been a dream because no one could do anything so evil. And obviously I hadn't spoken to him or seen him, so how could he have done that? And I also remember when he did that I said to him, why do you keep coming and doing this to me? So obviously he'd done it before.
Yeah, I hear that. And you know what, it's important to add as well that these things come in layers. If somebody's being drugged, and
that's
then
what's been happening to me for the past year.
Obviously they don't remember at the time, and then they start to these suppressed thoughts and feelings and emotions that were going on at the time, those things that have been suppressed by the drug, start to resurface. They don't come all at once. It comes in layers, in dribs and drabs, you know, and sometimes it comes out of order. It doesn't come necessarily in order in a, you know, like your thoughts would normally come when you remember something. It comes in the timeline and the order. It doesn't always happen like that when somebody has repressed memory, whether that's through drugging, trauma that has caused the memories to be repressed. It doesn't matter. Those are how the memories drop in and fall on the person. And it can sometimes sound confusing. It can sometimes sound disordered, all of those things, but it doesn't mean it isn't true. So I just wanted to point that out, sis.
Yeah, I know. I've been learning about it to try and help myself, because I thought if I don't do something, because it was so bad and what I'm saying has happened and so unbelievable that a professional has even not been able to understand it. So I thought, okay, you need to start teaching yourself and understanding it and understanding it wasn't your fault. And these psychotic people do exist and they do get away with things because police don't listen. They don't, you know, they plan these things. They're always wearing black clothes as well. He would always come around wearing black clothes as well. So, you know, he knows what he's doing. He's been doing it for a while. I'm not the first person he's done it to. The people that I know, are not the first people he's done it to. Most likely anyone that's ever been with him and thought that they wanted him, he's been fucking drugging them.
Well, listen, I think it's important to add as well that
he's also not really got anywhere to live, and he has to use women for that as well. That's why he drugs women, so he has somewhere to live and a home to use, because that's what he was doing to me. While I'm drugged and unconscious, he's, I don't know, trying to use my house as a crack house or something with some people or whatever, and also stealing my car as well while I'm drugged up and drugging up my family to do those same things, and drugging up my family so that he can take my nephews and even my baby nephew as well. A baby he did this to. A baby. You know you did this to my baby nephew. You know what you did. You know what you did. And whoever else is around him, most likely he's doing it to them as well. He knows what he's done. I give a fuck what anyone says. He knows what he's done. He knows more than me what he's done. He knows,
Please,
I know, and God knows.
Can we keep the swearing to a minimum, sis? Like, seriously, we
I
have
am
to.
really trying. I'm really trying. I'm not even saying the things that I want to say and the things I want to do. So
I know.
I
know. I'm not having a go at you for it. I feel it's
I know.
natural, but it's just literally so that we can make sure that this stays up. Okay, and I don't have to cut it. If I do have to cut it, we lose the comments as well, and I think the comments are always important, you know. So, sis, have you ever reported him to the police?
A few times, yes.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, because of the way he's done things,
I've got evidence of that. I just want to show people. Sorry, wrong button. That's the first report that sister put through, and it says December 2024.
I think I reported him a few more times than that. It's definitely there. The reports are definitely there.
Yeah, and I've got quite a few of them. So I'm just showing some examples of the fact that there are police reports in. This is what you've shared with me via WhatsApp. And we've got that. If anyone's just joined, that's who we're talking about tonight, Luca Knight. He's going to jump on in a little while and have his say. But that's who we're talking about. So there's definitely police reports. And I've also spoken to several members of your family. I've spoken to several members of your family, and they have corroborated the fact that this has been something that you have been sharing and remembering over a period of time. And as I said to people earlier on, their recollection of you sharing this along the way also is consistent with changes in your behavior that they were able to testify to. Yeah.
The thing is as well, since I've not known him, I've done quite a few things with my life and been able to do these things because I've not been having these every year getting unwell and him trying to, come and have somewhere to live basically or somewhere to use. And it's just strange to me how I've been able to do certain things that I wanted to do and I was planning to do before I met him. And I even remember saying to him in 2020, when he was trying to come around and be my friend again, saying to him about how I was unwell. And I said something like, I don't know why I keep being unwell like that. It keeps happening to me. And I said, it's funny how before I met you, I was all fine and everything. And then I met you and my life kept going wrong since I met you. And then I thought to myself, how would he be making your life go wrong when you've not been in a relationship or with him? You're not, been with him like that. There's times when you haven't seen him for months at a time. And, he's always phoning me. So, and one of his kids' moms has got proof of that as well. So.
Sis, listen, take a break. I'm going to put the link out. Let's see if he jumps on. Let's see if anybody else wants to jump on as well, if they've got anything to say or to contribute tonight. Take a break. I think you deserve a break. It's been a lot. Stay here, muted up, or you can jump on and come back on after I've spoken to whoever's going to join the link. What do you choose to do? What would you like to do? Do you want to stay on and mute up?
Yeah, please.
Okay, cool. No worries. All right, so I'm going to put the link out, guys. Let me get that for you. A peculiar story indeed. But as I said, doesn't necessarily make it untrue. And we're not saying if it's true or untrue. We're saying that it doesn't make it untrue because of the way that the sister has remembered this. Doesn't. As I said, her family have corroborated certain timelines and certain behaviors, which they can't explain either. Certain little things like she's talking about front doors being left unlocked when they know that they locked it. Those little things that you can't quantify. And it's pretty hard to gather as evidence. Those kind of little things is what family have corroborated. Where is this link? Ugh. Sorry, I just thought I copied it. I thought I did. Let's see. Oh dear. Right, there's the link, people. Jump on. Luca, if you're watching, as I said to you earlier, as I said to you earlier, copy and paste that and then put it in your browser. Ask someone to do that if you don't know how, because he was saying that he didn't really understand a lot of technology and stuff like that. That's fine. That's fine. So there's the link, people. You know what to do. Sis, perhaps you want to keep talking until somebody does jump on. You just sent me a message that you want to talk about the group. Can you hear me, sis?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just saw your message. So tell us about the bruises. Just, before somebody jumps on or before he comes on, you can tell us about the bruises. You said you hadn't mentioned the bruises.
Yeah, in 2019, I would be waking up with bruises a lot as well, and I thought it was me when I'm working out, sort of hitting my leg with a weight or something, and now I'm realizing it was him, because one day I woke up and I felt like I'd been battered all night, and I had finger mark bruises on my arms, and I had a very large bruise on the inside of my thigh. And I sort of said to my sister, look at these bruises. And then I said, I know it's because I've been scrubbing myself in the bath too hard. And then I would, one place I actually lived, I would wake up feeling like I've got a hangover a lot. And that would happen a lot. I would wake up like I've got a hangover. I even said to him once, you can't keep coming around, because every time you come around, I wake up with a bad headache. I think it's whatever weed you're smoking in here in my kitchen. So
okay.
And
that's crazy.
Sis,
give me a moment, just one moment, because he's trying to communicate with me on Instagram saying he's unable to join. So just give me one moment, okay? Let me just meet you up as well. Give us a moment, guys. Right, so Luca is just trying to join. He's having a little bit of trouble with the link. So let's give him a few moments to join, sis. So you were saying? Okay, so I've got somebody else backstage that wants to jump on. Sally, hold fire for a minute. There's somebody called She Destroys Them that wants to jump on. Hi, She Destroys Them, or She Destroys Them with Her Truth. You're live.
Greetings.
Greetings. Is that Heaven?
Yeah, it is Heaven.
Loving the tag today, Heaven. Loving the tag.
Thank you. I just wanted to say to Sally, first and foremost, how courageous and brave and...
Let me just make sure she's with us. Sally, can you hear the sister?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah. I want you to know that what you're doing, speaking out, regardless of how you look, how you sound, the judgments, the non-believers, whatever, you're just letting it out. you're just talking, and that alone is enough. Because number one, it happened to you without your permission, and that kind of held you captive and put something over you, like a spell almost. So you speaking on it and releasing that and letting that truth out is like breaking that spell. Do you get me? Breaking that the chains that was held onto you, onto your mind, onto your spirit, just trying to swarm you up into the darkness. Every time you're speaking, you're letting and breaking each of those shackles from the captivity that you've been held in all of these years. So I want you to know how proud I am of you. And so many of us are rooting for you, your ancestors, the angels, those that didn't get a chance to speak their truth, that are long gone. Everyone right now, we're rooting for you. We're happy because you're not just freeing yourself, you're also freeing us. So I wanted to let you really know that you're amazing. You're so brave, so courageous. And justice will let out, yeah? Whether it's gonna be physically with the justice system, the so-called prison system, justice is gonna lay out. Because those who hide in the dark have to come out once the light is shone on them and you're shining that light. So you continue, yeah, to speak your truth, to stand your ground, and don't ever back down. Yeah? He might have captured your body, but he never captured your spirit. You hear?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so we've got Luca with us now.
Right.
I don't know who Afua Rose Community is. It sounds like it could be one of the trolls. They usually like to come and disrupt things. Thank you for that, sis. Do you want to jump off and jump back on maybe at a later stage? We're going to get Luca on now.
Yes, please. Yes,
Thank
please.
you for that, Heaven. Thank you
Stay
for that.
strong, Sally, yeah? We're proud of you. Stay strong.
Okay, thanks for that. Right, so I'm about to bring Luca to the stage. Sally, you're muted up. That's great. Right, well, Afro Rose Community, who are you?
Hello.
Luca, I've got you to the stage. I don't know who Afro Rose Community is. Give me a moment, Luca. You're live now. You're live now, so turn your camera off if you need to. So you are live now, okay? I'm just going to mute you up for a minute. Afro Rose Community, they've gone. Yeah, the usual bollock. Sorry, excuse me. You were fine just now, brother. Bro, can you turn your camera back on? I can see you backstage, but it's saying that you're not connected now and you've come off the stage. Turn your camera back on a minute for me, please, Luca. Turn it on. No one can see you, right? Brilliant. It's something with your device. Is there any way you can just cover your camera? Yeah, I'm going to bring you onto the stage now. Your camera's covered anyway. Keep doing that.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So yeah, your camera's covered. Fantastic. We can hear you now. You're live.
Can I say something first? All praises to the Most High, the eternal creator of all of us. Go on now, because I've heard all of this. I'm supposed to respond to this craziness that's just been said.
Well, I put it to you.
Sorry, Afua. I'm supposed to come back and say what to all this craziness? I can't believe you've given this mad woman so much time. Go on, what do you want to ask me now? Go on. What am I supposed to defend now?
Tell us your side according to the
side of no story. There's no side of no story. I get it. I was her only friend. Cool. I met somebody. I left her alone. Cool. There's no side of no story. That is it. She didn't like it that I left her alone, and then she started going crazy. I've had to phone police multiple times. I've got harassment charges against her.
Yeah, she did share.
Sorry, can I speak again, Afua? The police have not come and approached me once. You've posted something saying, she's contacted the police and that. The police, and I'm known by the police, you know. I am known to the police. The police have not come to me once for this girl. Can I say again? Because you keep calling me a demon. All praises to the Most High, the eternal creator of all of us. Carry on now. What am I supposed to defend here? What am I supposed to say to this?
I can't answer that. You said that you wanted to come on and you wanted to share
I'm coming on because I'm not hiding away from nothing. I'm coming on because I'm not hiding away. I've heard the girl speak. It's bullshit. Can anyone else hear that? This is bullshit. Sorry for swearing. This is rubbish.
So you mentioned that the police have never come to you. I get that, but there's clearly been police reports.
Then if the police would have believed a fraction of what she's saying, if the police would believe a fraction of what she's saying, you know, they'd come to me. They would come to me.
Yeah, of course they would. Of course they would. But I just want to make can I just make the point, please?
Afua, can I speak? Waiting all this time, you know. She's gone to the police in 2024, she says, yeah? That's when she's not crazy. In her story, just, I've not been around her for 4 years. She's not crazy.
We've lost you.
Hello?
Yeah, we've got you back.
Yeah?
Yeah, go ahead.
She's saying in her little testimony, whatever she just give then, yeah? She's saying that I've not been seeing her since 2020 to 2024, yeah? So that means she's saying she's thinking able, everything's moving correct now. Why are the police not believing you?
I don't understand what you're saying there. Say that again.
You don't understand what I'm saying, Afua, because you're on her side. I heard the way you was talking with her. Listen to me.
Listen. First of all,
no way there, Afua, because I need to talk now.
No. I'm going to respond to something because you've just thrown something at me. You've just thrown something at me. You're talking over me, so I'm going to have to mute you. You've thrown something at me. You've said you've accused me of something, so at least allow me to respond. Yeah, I'm hearing her side, just like I sat and I heard your side yesterday. You've now come on. You know, I can get that you're angry. I get all of that, but I'm trying to be as impartial as I possibly can. I'm listening now. When it comes on to, I've unmuted you now. When it comes on to empathizing with somebody who alleges that they've been drugged, we've heard these stories many times on this platform, and that is what I am doing. I'm saying I hear you. I understand that. I'm going through the story with her, Luca. So that's what's happening. I reserve the right for us to have a respectful conversation and not to level accusations at each other right now. Okay, so can we proceed that way, please? We're just reasoning. That's what we're doing.
It's a bit
right?
My picture's been out there with allegations.
No, I get it. I totally get it. But I've still got to call some boundaries, yeah? I totally get it.
Go on, so what now?
So what I'm saying is you're refuting it. You're saying that what you said to me yesterday was that you had a protracted relationship with, and we're calling her Sally today because she like.
My name's out there. Why is her name not out there? My name's out there in the world. Why is her name not out there? And also, can I just say this? Even though I'm not trying to call no one out, yeah, she's trying to say I met her when she was 21. The girl's 40.
39.
I've known her for no more than 15 years. The girl's 40. Can someone else do the maths? I don't know what she's on about. I met her when she was like 27 or something like that. So anyway, carry on now. Go on. What you saying?
Yeah. So look, we spoke yesterday. You're saying
people. Her name's Nadia. Nadia Khan. Yeah.
I'd rather you didn't do that, but that's what you've chosen to do. That's what you've chosen to do. What can I do?
My name is out there in the world.
Your name is out there because you're the alleged perpetrator. Now you're saying
nothing.
I said alleged, Luca.
Yeah, carry on.
So you're saying that you want to put her name out there. That's what you've chosen to do. Okay, go ahead.
You're telling me to go ahead and do what?
Go ahead and tell us your side of the story, Luca.
There's no side of the story.
You said that you said there is a side of the story, which is your side. So you've said that you sat and listened to the allegations. Yeah, let's go through them. You know, let's go through them one by one. You said you'd listen to them. So when I say your side of the story, I mean, what is your response to the allegations? Is what I'm going to say. Yeah. So before you answer that, what I wanted to point out before you cut me was that, and this is not to say whether I believe or don't believe, I said it to sister at the time. The fact that the police have not responded to her complaints, but they've responded to yours. Oh, your device is not connected again, Luca. It's going to be a long night. Oh, here we go. Yeah. All right, let's get you back on. Yeah, cover your camera. What I was saying is the fact that the police have responded to your complaint about her, because that's got a lot more evidence attached to it, doesn't mean that it isn't necessarily true because she's got less evidence. That's all I'm saying. So what I am actually saying is that in terms of your own defense, we talked about this yesterday as well. In terms of your own defense, what can you give us to sustain your defense? That's what I'm saying. Because everyone's going to say they didn't do it. And if sister's lying, then how do we know she's lying? Because earlier on, or yesterday rather, I asked you if you said that you could get family members that would corroborate what you're saying, in that sister's mad, yeah, and that she's unstable. And first of all, when we were speaking, you said to me that you knew you knew the family, and then you said that actually you don't know the family, you know just a couple of members of the family, and then you said that you don't really know a couple of members of the family, but you've had a conversation with them 4 or 5 years ago via Facebook.
Can I speak? I didn't say none of that. I said I know 2 members of the family, Sunil and Sunita. I've known them from when I was 11.
Yeah.
There's no need to go and yeah. So anyway, yeah, I've known them.
Why is there no need to go? Yeah, there's no need to be facetious, Luca. I said I've been nice about it. If we are going to have, Luca, a sustained, constructive, and intelligent conversation, we don't need childhood remarks like there's no need to whatever. I feel there is a need, so therefore I reserve the right to speak the way I want. Thank you.
When I'm talking and I hear noise and that, yeah, I come off my track of talk. So now, anyway, yeah, I've known Sunil and Sunita from since I was 11. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm 43 now. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm not saying that I talk to them every day. I know them. They live in my area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they have
the conversation that I showed you was when she's going crazy, following me around. I'm contacting the cousin. I don't need to talk to the cousin for no other reason. What do I need to talk to her for?
Right. Well, that's explained now, isn't it? That's all I was asking you at the time. And also, when you said that you've spoken to the cousin, I don't think you realised that I had also spoken to the very same cousin. You originally suggested that the people that Sally had brought to me were not really her family, and that they were just anybody, and that you said that you knew one of her cousins. And when you gave me the contact, I realised that, well, it's a cousin that I've already spoken to. And what I was trying to say to you about the fact that whatever you experienced and what you had this conversation about 4 or 5 years ago, that was in the moment as far as her cousin is concerned. And that was what was happening at the time. And she also did not have a full understanding of what was going on, any more or less than Sally did at the time. So whatever she said in terms of like agreeing with you that she might be a little bit unstable, we've just heard Sally testify that, yeah, that is what was going on. Actually, my family were really worried about me and they were going to section me and all of that stuff. So what I'm trying to get out of you is, apart from calling her mad and unstable, which we've already heard about, and looking to her cousin to corroborate what you're saying that didn't happen. What else can you tell us that says it didn't happen?
I'm not looking for nobody to corroborate no story. There's nothing's happened.
Okay.
Me and her was in a sexual relationship. Ain't nothing other than that happened.
Okay.
She's messaging. She's trying to say I'm calling her phone. I live with I used to live with my family and that. I don't message no girls. She's messaging my phone, telling me to come do this and come do that to her. I'm not messaging her.
I saw something like that in the comments. I saw that in the comments actually.
I'm not messaging her. She's messaging my phone. My baby mother at the time is catching the messages because I'm sleeping. I tell people I used to tell girls, don't message my phone and that. When they message my phone, I'm sleeping. My baby mother sees the messages in the phone, calls her up. There's no phone calls from me. Why am I phoning it? Why am I phoning anyone for? I've got harassment charges from her. I've blocked her number and social medias so much times. It's crazy. She tries to add me. She tried to add me the other day in February, just gone. February just gone, 2025. She's tried to add me. So I don't know what you want me to say to this. I don't know what you want me to say to these bogus allegations. I'm supposed to say what? No, I don't. No, I don't drug people. No, I don't break into houses and drugging a whole family and that. Listen to what's getting said here.
As I said, it's fantastical for sure.
Fantastical.
It doesn't necessarily mean it isn't true, my brother. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. And that's without throwing an allegation at you, myself. Do you understand?
I just want to know what series she's been watching to get all this from. Because
I don't think. Well, listen, I'll tell you one thing. As I said to you yesterday, in my line of work, this is not that outside the
when Sally was talking, when this Sally girl was talking, you wasn't cutting in this much times. I feel like, but with me, you're just cutting in every second. Every second you want to cut in. So go on. You want to have the mic? You can have the mic.
No, you keep offering me the mic. That's why I'm cutting in. So
I'm saying,
carry on saying what you're saying, please.
Hey, again, look, I can't even talk now. I'm saying that this is craziness. Me breaking into a house and drugging everyone in the house. You're saying, yeah, it's what did you say? Fantastical or something? I'm saying, I don't even know what you're saying that for. It sounds like a TV series. Now you're saying 4 men have broken into a house and kidnapped somebody, and police ain't believing none of this.
Can I say that just to add to what you're saying, okay? When you're saying that it's it's just something that's probably never happened, or it's when we had the Rochester grooming gang case. I don't know if you're aware of that case up in Rochester, basically up north, with the Asian grooming gangs. Do you remember that? It was all over the TV.
Yeah.
But when we had that case there were incidents where this actually happened. It actually did happen. And I know, as I said to you before, with a lot of the cases that I've worked on, not a lot of the cases actually, but there are cases along the way and along the years where this kind of thing does happen. So it's not that when you say, how can I believe it? I can. In that regard, in that regard, I can, because it's not something I haven't heard before.
Okay.
You see my point?
I don't see your point at all. What I'm saying is, I don't understand. I don't understand, any of it. Listen to me, okay? The girl needs help. Can we just do that? Can we just do that, please? Get this person some help. Can we just concentrate on that? Because if she can make up all of this, if she can drag my name like this, she needs serious help. If something has happened to the nephew, the whole family needs some serious help. Okay. What I'm saying is now, is from the years that I've spoken to her, I know she's been sexually abused from members in her family. When she's saying she's tried to kill herself, yes, she has, because members in her family still come around to her house who have sexually abused her.
Okay, so when it comes between what's going on between you and her, I think it's fair game that
There's nothing going on between me and her.
In terms of whatever these allegations are, let me done.
There's no allegation. This is what I'm saying. Listen to me.
There are allegations. And no, I need to say this actually, so I'm going to mute you, Luca. When it comes on to whatever this story is between whatever Sally's accused you of and what you're saying now, it's fair game for you to talk about that. But when it comes on to something she hasn't shared about her own personal abuse or experience, you don't have the right to out that. And that's what I will say. You're out of order for that. Okay? Please don't share any more of that. Otherwise, I'm going to have to take you off. Because that is deeply personal. It's deeply, deeply traumatic. And it's not something that we need to know right now. It's not something she shared, is it?
Can I speak now?
Yeah, you
The
can.
reason why it needs to be shared is because it's showing that there's past trauma. So the reason why it needs to be
You
shared
can
is
say
because-
that she's had
Can I
past
speak?
trauma.
Can I
You can say
speak?
that.
Afua, can I speak?
You can say she had past trauma, but
Can I
you
speak,
cannot
Afua,
say
without
the
you
nature of the
saying-
trauma.
Can I speak
That's what
without
I'm
you
telling you.
all the time? Every
I'll
second.
allow you to carry on and speak when I know that is that you're listening about what I'm saying now with somebody else's.
The reason why I've said
Okay?
it is because it shows that she's had past trauma. The reason why I've said it is because she's saying that members in her family, she's thinking that members in her family, things are happening to them, kids. She's thinking that things are happening to the kids in her family. And what I'm bringing to light is she's this same. I'm not allowed to say it, am I? I'm not allowed to say it now, am I? That's what you're telling me. Otherwise, you're going to kick me out of the conversation.
I'm telling you, all right, let me ask you a question, Luca. If you had shared that with her and she came out within this story and told that, you would not see that as necessary. I'm asking you, would you see that as necessary? Would you see that as something that she needed to share?
Can I say why it's necessary? Because she's claiming that something is happening to a child in her family. But really, something happened to her as a child when she.
And that's the only way that you need to say it. We didn't know. We didn't need to know the actual specifics of the. That's what I'm saying.
I shouldn't have said it the way I said it. I'm not media trained. I'm not sitting here trained to talk to people. You know.
Neither am I.
This is me being real. This is me being real.
I'm not media trained either, but that's just common respect and courtesy, Luca.
Common respect, because no one's got no common respect
anyway,
for me.
You've accepted it, you've apologized for it. Fine, let's move on.
I've got a family. There's no common respect for me because I've got a family. My picture's been posted out there with crazy allegations under my name. I've got a whole family. My sister's messaging me saying, Luca, what's going on here? I'm saying, no, it's bullshit. I've got crime reference reports and everything. There's a stalk. True say the people that know me know I'm nothing like this. You get me? So I feel like what needs to happen here, and I'm gonna say it again one more time because I'm getting mad and I don't like getting mad. All praises to the Most High, the eternal creator of us. What I'm saying is, can I say this now as well? I don't even do drugs myself. So what is going on here? You get me? The girl needs help. It sounds like her whole family need help. Because if these things are really happening,
when you say these things, this is what I need you to respond to, because there was a lot of things said.
Listen to me, Afua. If these things, all of the things I'm on about, if all of the things have really happened, if all of the things are really happening, she needs to go and get real help. It's not me. They need to find the person. There's some monster out there, isn't there? That's going around with 4 people breaking into houses and drugging everyone in the family to kidnap someone. This needs to really get addressed and really get put out there. And we really need to find out who this is.
Of course, I agree.
We really need to find out who this is. You get me? Now, what's going on is, if you listen to the girl's talking, she's saying, I'm her only friend. I didn't know that. I used to see her on the weekend, maybe in the week if she called me and I could come down to Birmingham. I wasn't even living in Birmingham at the time. Okay, so if I could come back down to Birmingham, I would see her in the week if it sounded like, she was going through a little moment. So now, what I'm saying is, I didn't know I was her only friend. I get it. She's sad. I get it. She's pissed that I've left her alone and that. But that's not, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. What am I supposed to do? She used to phone me up all the time to the point where I have to block her. I have to say to my girlfriend, you know what it is? I've known her for so many years. Rare. I just got to block her. And I've blocked her. And then next thing I know, she's following me around and that. She's literally following me around. I have to phone police now. I don't understand how this has even got this far. The girl needs serious help. And I'm not even trying to downgrade any of these things that are happening and that, because these are serious things. But what I'm saying is, yeah, is it's not me. One, it's not me. Two, if it's really happening, go get serious help.
At what stage, Luca, from your perspective, did things start to go strange? Because obviously you guys were, you guys were...
Yeah, we were cool. So what happened was, yeah, as I said to you yesterday, so what happened was, I'm a very, what's the word? I'm very sexually active. This is what I'm getting told, but I'm very promiscuous. You get me? I've been very promiscuous my whole life. I've been like this. I've never struggled in any kind of way in the female department of my life. Yeah, I bump into a girl that I actually like, and I think in my head, like, I don't really want to mess around with no one else. I just want to mess around with this girl. Wait there, 1 second.
It sounds like you got a little one there.
Yeah. She's crawling about and she just dropped. So now, anyway, yeah, what I'm saying is, I was very promiscuous. So I've met this girl 2020. I've met this girl in 2020. I don't want to mess with no. So I've locked off everybody. Any girl that I'm dealing with sexually, I've locked them off. Yeah. This we're calling her Sally for this YouTube. Yeah, has not left me alone. I've had to block her and that. After I blocked her and that, she starts following me around and that, saying crazy things like, I'm waiting in the garden, or she see me in her back garden or something. And this is when I've contacted the cousin to say to the cousin, look, I'm not doing none of this. She needs help. Or if there is someone waiting in the garden, somebody phone the police, because there's somebody waiting in her garden. Nothing to do with me. She needs to leave me alone and sort this problem out. This is in 2020. You've seen the messages that I've sent you. This is in 2020 when I've hollered the cousin, because I'm really concerned.
I've seen that you followed the cousin. Yeah,
I'm really concerned about somebody's well-being. Yeah, and then it got to the point where she's following me, and I'm saying, look, what am I supposed to do now? The girl's just following me around and that, and we don't go to police in our community at all. But I've had to go to the police and say, look, this girl is following me, posting crazy things about me and that, posting my address and that on social networks and that. Like, this needs to stop. She got arrested. Straight away, she's been arrested. The police have phoned me up, said, what do we want to do? Do we want to take it further? I've said, no, I don't want no one to get in trouble. Can you just tell her to leave me alone, please? And that's it. 2021, that's happened. As far as I know, that's it. Earlier on this year, my friend, my girlfriend, I've had a new child. My girlfriend's posted a picture on her Facebook, tagged me in it, new child, whatever she's done. I think we was out somewhere, tagged me in the post. After I got tagged in the post, this girl has added me on, tried to add me on Facebook. That same day, I've got scratches on my car. That same week, people are phoning me up saying, "Oh, this girl's talking crazy about you, Luca, talking all this, talking all that." I've heard the girl speaking that she's talking mad about you. Just don't make no sense what she's saying.
And this was back in 2020.
No, this isn't. No, we've gone past. Listen, Afua.
Yeah.
In 2020, I spoke to the cousin. In 2021, I phoned the police. I didn't hear. The police arrested her. The police phoned me up, said, we've got her in custody. What do you want to do? I've turned around and said, look, I don't want no one to get in trouble. Can you just tell her to leave me alone? And then that's it. I'm not pressing charges or anything. Just tell her to leave me alone. Yeah? I've not heard anything. And then 2024, are you with me now? My girlfriend posted a picture of, I think we was out somewhere, posted a picture of my child. I was in the background of the picture or whatever. She's tagged me in the picture. I've locked off social media because this girl was posting everything about my address and that on social media and that. Anyway, my girls tagged me on Facebook. This same girl that we're on about now, Sally, has tried to add me on Facebook, sent me a friend request. Yeah, my car's got scratches in it. This same day, my car's got scratches in it. Then that same week or 2 weeks, people are starting to phone me up saying, "Oh, this girl, holler at me. This girl's talking mad about you. She sounds crazy and that. I don't know what's I don't know what's wrong with it. Whatever she's saying, it sounds all mumbling and crazy, and it's not you. People know me. There's no girl on this earth that can turn around and say, I have attempted to raped, grabbed them without them wanting me to grab them, or grab them. What's the word? What's the word? What when you I don't even know what the word is. Grab them unwillingly. There's no girl on this earth that can talk about me like this. But this girl with her crazy accusations.
This is why I call it a peculiar story, Luca, because from both sides it sounds very plausible. And I said to you yesterday, it's not that I don't believe you or I believe her or vice versa, because both sides sound extremely plausible. And that's why we're having this conversation.
Can I just jump in and speak and say her side? I was listening to her speak and that it does not sound plausible. It sounds crazy.
It wouldn't to you if that's what you're saying, and if it isn't true, then it wouldn't to you, right? And you wouldn't say that even if it was true, because you wouldn't say that. But to us, you sound plausible. I'm being honest, and so does sister.
I don't know how. So anyway, yeah. Because what we've got to get into now, yeah, is we've got to get into the how. We know the who. I had a few questions. When that post went up, I wanted to know who. We know who it is now. I want to know when. We're never gonna know the when because she don't even know herself.
She's told us when. She said that it was coming on.
It's all muddled up. It's all muddled up. What I'm saying is now, yeah, is how can I break into a house and drug a whole fucking house? Sorry for swearing. How can I break into a house and drug a whole house?
We've lost you with sound. Don't know what's happened there, Luca.
I'm sorry, I'm clicking because I'm covering the camera. It's like I'm clicking the camera at the top of it. Yeah, hear me now. How can I break into a house? Yeah, drug a whole family, kidnap a nephew. What did she say? Take him around my children. Take him around my family. Bring him back to the house that I've just drugged everybody in. And then bounce.
Well, I don't think she said that you took him around your family. I think what she was explaining, you took him somewhere. I mean, nobody, and this is not me being facetious, but nobody who was going to do that would bring the child home, would they? They'd find somewhere else to go. No.
Yeah, she just said I brought the nephew around. And can I just say this as well now? I thought she had a niece. I don't even know she's got a nephew. I don't even know she's got a nephew. I know she's got a niece. And she showed me a picture of the niece, and I said, the niece looks like you. That is it. Yeah? Now, anyway, yeah, she said when she was talking that I brought the nephew around my sons and around my cousin's kids. That's my family. Did she not say that?
Yeah.
What? And then after I've done that, I brought the nephew back to the house, which I don't even know where this house is. Can I say that as well? I don't know where their mom lives. So anyway, I brought the child back there. How much times has her nephew been kidnapped? I think we really need to go to the police and sort this out. If something like this is happening, we really need to go to the police.
Well, she has been to the police, but nobody can make the police.
What she needs to do is go to what she needs to do is go to the police, not mention my name. Go to the police and say, this is
why
what she
not?
thinks. So just wait there. Just wait there. Wait there, Afua. Go to the police and say, this is what I think's happened. Let the police do their job.
That doesn't make sense, because if she goes to the police and she thinks that's what's happened, the first thing they're going to say to her is, who do you think has done this to you? And she's going to say your name, right? They're not going to just, who would they investigate if she didn't tell them who?
The reason why I'm saying she needs to not mention my name. She can mention my name. Don't even bother me. What I'm saying is, the reason why I said that is because she sounds like a crazy woman. I don't like keep calling her crazy. I don't know what's going on in her life and that.
Well, she'd sound even more like a crazy woman, Luca. Sorry to cut you, but she'd sound even more like a crazy woman if she went to them and told them and then couldn't tell them who'd done it, wouldn't she?
Yeah. Whatever. Then whatever. What I'm saying is, she needs to go to the police. Though, if something's happening, still now, it don't matter.
She has been to the police several times.
She needs to do something then, innit? Because I don't know what's going on. It sounds like to me there is somebody targeting her and her family. If wait there, if these things are real, what she's talking about, it sounds like to me somebody is really targeting her and her family. It's not me. I've not got much more to say on this. This is like, are we going to bring her back on again to make her talk her stuff?
Yeah. Do you want to wait backstage just before you go though? Okay, you can either jump off for good or you can wait backstage just to hear a response.
I'm here for it tonight.
Okay, no worries. I'm just going to add Heaven back to the stage. I don't know if she wants to say something quickly. Heaven.
Who?
Heaven,
Who's Heaven?
Oh, she's come back off. She was somebody that was who came to the stage before, but it looks like she probably made a mistake. Don't worry about it.
We don't know. Listen, we don't need just anybody's. Okay, this girl is talking
that's
about.
How this platform. That is how this platform runs. We put the link out. Let me explain.
Okay.
Can you let me explain? That is how it works. I did explain it yesterday, but maybe you didn't understand it. So the way that it works is I put the link out, and then anybody is welcome to join. You've joined now because the only person who gets a private link is the person who's doing their testimony. Anyone after that gets a public link, whether that's you or anyone else, and there's other people that might want to come on and comment. That's the way it works. All right. Heaven, you there? Is that you again, sis? Yeah, it is. Heaven, do you realize that you're joining back the link? I don't know if you do, sis. I don't know if she realizes that she is joining back the link. You're not unmuting and you're coming off, so it must be that then. No worries. Heaven was somebody, Luca, who joined when you were trying to join and she was speaking to Sally as a member of the public. That's who that person was. And she's still trying to get on, so I don't know what's going on there. Can you hear me, Heaven? Oh,
yeah, you're there. I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. What did you want to add quickly before?
I just wanted to speak to Luca really, and ask him, Luca, in your time that you was with Sally, are you saying that you never took any narcotics at all?
I was going to get to him with that question, but don't worry. I was going to let Sally respond, but you've asked it anyway, so let's go ahead.
Yeah, just that, you're stating your case. So are you saying you never took any drugs at all whilst you were in a relationship with her? Luca,
can you hear? Can you hear us? He's muted up. He might have gone to do something. I don't know.
I'm here. Yo, I'm here.
Are you there? Yeah.
Oh, hello. Hi, Luca.
Go on.
Yeah, I'm just asking. When you were in the relationship with Sally, did you use any drugs apart from when you were with her and when you were with her?
Can I just say, I don't class weed as narcotics.
No, not weed. Weed is. I'm not talking about weed. Weed is a herb. I said drug.
No.
No, you didn't touch heroin at all.
I can't hear you. Say that again.
Did you ever touch heroin?
No. What kind of stupidness is this? I don't touch drugs.
I mean, it's nothing to be embarrassed about if you've done it in the past and you don't do it now. I'm asking about back then. Did you take drugs?
I just answered it and said, no, I only smoke weed.
Oh, okay. Sorry. It's just that your tone doesn't sound like, yes, I'm quite spiritually gifted like that. I can usually tell when someone's lying. I'm not here to
All right,
accuse
well,
you of
let's
anything.
not accuse anybody.
I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm just saying that's why I asked you a few times, but you said you haven't. Fair enough.
Can I just say,
No,
can I talk?
yeah, of course.
Can I just say you're clearly not that spiritually gifted, innit? Because I don't take drugs.
Okay.
What
Sure.
the fuck, man?
Oh, okay. So what I wanted to ask as well is that are you denying categorically that you have never, ever hurt this woman in any way, that she would have these recollections of you? Are you saying you were just a good person in her life? You were supportive. There's nothing, everything she's saying, because you're calling her crazy. So it's a really strong statement. Is there nothing that you've done in the relationship that she could say that you've hurt her or you can admit to?
No, I've never hurt her physically. I've never hurt her. The only thing that I can see that hurt her from listening to her speak is her saying that I'm her only friend and I stopped speaking to her. So I don't know how that's hurt her. I can see how it's affecting her by these accusations she's throwing out there. But I have never done nothing to her harmfully, ever.
Emotionally?
What
about emotionally?
I think he's answered the question, sis. We've lost
Pardon?
you. Hello, can I speak?
Yeah.
I'm saying, yeah, I don't know what emotional damage me not speaking to her has done. I don't know that. That's for her to speak on that. I don't know that. From what I can see, it's caused a lot of pain to her emotionally, me not speaking to her. From hearing this podcast now.
Is there anything you want to say to her that will offer words of endearment? If you're saying that you've never hurt her.
No, Heaven. There's no direct communication.
Not to her. Sorry, not to her.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to her. Is there anything that you want to say that's encouraging or uplifting? The reason I'm saying this is because I asked you these questions specifically, that if you're somebody, I understand that accusations might have been thrown to you, but you also, when I'm listening to you, you've kind of made it out a bit like, you know, you're concerned. You're like, oh, there's somebody out there. So if that's the case and you feel like maybe there might be somebody who's hurting someone you were once in a relationship with, do you not have any type of like, I don't know, like empathy or anything for what she's going through?
I think he's already answered that. Sorry, Luca, I don't want to talk for you, but sis, I think he already answered that in what he was saying, in that if it is happening, he is concerned. He's concerned that a child has been kidnapped. If it's happening, that's his standpoint, and that, you know, they should go to the police. So I think there is concern, and he's shown that. Yeah,
I didn't hear that. I must have gone off. I didn't hear any of that at all. Mm-hmm. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm a human. I'm a real human being, you know, not just a robot over here.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't see the point of even jumping on the chat. This is what I'm saying. I'm not here to just talk to any randomers and that, you know. I think it's time for me to go and bring her back on now. Now that I've said my piece, bring that girl back on. Make her say.
Yeah, I'm going to put you backstage, Heaven. Thanks for that. Yeah. Jump off, Heaven. Thank you.
No worry.
All right. Right, Heaven's gone. Luca, I'm going to put you backstage, but don't necessarily to come off the link. Yeah.
Say that again.
You hear me? I said I'm going to put you backstage, but don't come off the link. Stay backstage. I'm just going to take you off the stage.
I can press that again now.
No, I'm going to take you off the stage and just stay where you are. Don't touch anything. All right. When I'm ready, I'll bring you back on the stage, but I don't want you to lose the link again. So stay where you are when I take you off the stage. All right. Okay. Sally, you there? You there, sister? You with us, Sally?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. How you doing? Yeah. So just me and you now on the stage, sis.
Oh, just no one else listening, or?
Okay, yeah. So what I was going to say to you is that, you know, he sounds very plausible, But I have to say, and like I
That's
said
because
to you
he's
just
telling
now,
a lot of lies. That's why. We were never in a relationship. I was dating other people. If they're listening to this or anything, they can say that. I was living with someone at one point as well, because obviously I wasn't living at home because my behavior was very up and down, very up and down. I don't know what he's on about with the car, because if I did know what car, and wouldn't be scratches. And there's a lot of things he's just bullshitting about, making up to try and just make himself sound plausible, because he's good at that, talking shit, because he's been doing this for a long time.
And
there's
obviously the police have been more attentive to his
I've been
complaints.
reporting it. I haven't reported it just this year. I've reported what I've remembered this year.
Sure.
I've reported my mum's reported it last year, the year before. I reported it in 2019, or twice in 2020, because I reported it the first time, but I didn't know it was him. I just said to the police, something's been happening to me. I've seen someone been in my garden, and it did sound mad, so they didn't do anything about it then. Then when I did realize it was him, after following him, because I obviously you can imagine how angry someone would be after the police haven't helped them, and they want to do something about these things that they're remembering this person has done. And with the police, he's not saying that I was messaging him saying, I know what you've done, I know what you've done, I know these things that you've done. I wasn't saying to him, I want to be with you, I want to be with you. At first, that's what I thought I wanted. But then when I started realizing why I was saying to him, I know what you've done, I know what you've done. He's not saying that those were the messages that I was saying to him as well. And I've not had a conversation. I haven't been called by anyone, his baby moms, apart from the one that would always message me asking me what's going on, because she would find on his phone, iCloud or whatever, that he keeps ringing me. And on the weekends, when I would suddenly start, my behavior would be aggressive. And no, I've not called him. There's times when I've been sitting with my cousin and he's phoning me, and I'm saying, oh God, it's him again. And he's like, where are you? Where are you?
Well, there was clearly a dynamic going on between both of you, whether it was him chasing you because he fancied you and you were kind of just
And he's been seen by one of my someone I was dating before. He's been seen running out because of what he wasn't invited, and he's come in knocking on my door, and I even said, oh, he's here, thinking it's the person that I'm seeing knocking on my door, but no, it's him. Well, how did you come to my house so quickly that day?
So
because someone saw you, that man, that guy I was seeing can say, if he's listening to this, and if I get in touch with him, he can say, I remember. And also when I did tell this guy that I was seeing what had happened, because I stopped speaking to him for a while, and then when I started he actually got in touch with me for some reason after a while, and then I told him that these things had happened, and straight away he said to me, I believe you. And that's because he'd seen him sneaking in and out with stealing keys. My keys would go missing every time I moved into a new place. So there's a lot of explanations for things that I'm now realizing, and there's a lot of bullshit he's saying there, because obviously he's not going to say, I did these things, I did these things.
Well, if he is guilty, perpetrators don't come out, and we talked about this, didn't we, before, that a thief will maybe one day
confess. Most high thing is a bit sickening to hear.
A thief will sometimes come out and tell you that they've stolen something and confess. A murderer will sometimes confess. Practically every criminal will come out and confess at some point that they did or they didn't do what they did. But when it comes on to perpetrators, and particularly perpetrators of sexual crimes, very rarely do we hear, if at all, somebody say, do you know what? Yeah, I did grape her. I did whatever. I did do this and I did do that. So we're very used to on this platform. We're very used to denial. We're very used to that. And it's easy to be a good liar. It's easy to be a good denier. But I'm interested in who can corroborate what they're saying. That's what I'm interested in. And when Luca comes back on, I'll tell him what I think about that. But sis, thank you for that. That's your response. And I hear that. I'm going to take you off. I'm going to bring Luca back on and then we'll wrap up after that. Okay. Is that all right?
Yeah, also the one place that I lived in where he'd actually, that incident happened where he came, I went to renew my contract to live there and they said to me, no, there's been unauthorized access and there's seen someone on the camera. And I said to them to show me and they wouldn't show me. And I've actually got emails of that I could send to you, Afua. And I thought that they just didn't want me to live there because I'm remembering my behavior was up and down there as well. I went through heroin and whatever other drug withdrawal then as well. And I had to move back home to my parents and leave my job as well.
Is there anything else you want to add, sis? In response to what he said?
I can't really remember everything he said because it was just a load of crap. So
yeah, okay, I hear that.
But there's a lot of holes in everything he said. There's people that have seen him. There's a friend that would always say, "Oh, he likes you," because he lived at one point. He lived in Northfield near a friend of mine, and he was living with his kids, his two sons' mom, and sometimes I would go and meet him after I've met my friend, and she would say, he likes you, and I would say, oh yeah, I don't really like him, it's just a friend. And yeah, all throughout there's people that I was actually dating that can say, and there's very close friends of mine that can say, like, no, you wasn't with him.
And you know, I have spoken to your family and nobody has suggested that you were in any kind of long-term relationship with him or otherwise. So I hear that. Sis, let me bring him back on and then I'm going to come back to you as well, okay? So mute up for me. Let me just take you off. I'm going to put you backstage, sis. Don't go anywhere. So look, we can go back and forth all night on this one, I think, Luca, because you're going to categorically say that you didn't. Sisters say categorically saying that you did. But I feel like what stands out for me, my brother, is the fact that whatever Sally is saying, she is always readily able to offer corroboration to back what she's saying. But you haven't really offered us that.
There's no corroboration to me, to her.
Well, I can tell you that I've spoken to some family members, and there is not corroboration that you've done it, but there's a lot more corroboration to her stories. You're talking over me. Please stop. What I'm trying to say is, yeah, there's no corroboration that no one saw you actually commit the crimes that she's talking about, right? But when I say corroboration, what I mean is that there is more of her story that can be corroborated in certain parts and timelines and, you know, certain ways, okay, that she's offered more of that than you have to us. That's what I'm saying, or to me. Because I'm trying to make up my mind here. Like I said, you're plausible. You sound like you're a very plausible guy, you know? But what can you offer it by way of trying to bolster what you're telling me? Because if you can appreciate, yeah, I ain't done. I'm not done yet. You get a chance to talk, Luca. I'm just saying I'm not finished yet, yeah? What I'm trying to get you to understand is this. Let's just, let's go hypothetical. Let's say that you're not Luca. You've come on here. There's somebody accusing you of something. We know that the status quo says that people that are accused of these kinds of crimes very rarely, if at all, are going to come on and fess up to it, right? Some are good liars, some are not. And we've seen it for 5 years on this platform, one by one, All right. So let's just have it from that standpoint. Let's just say, for instance, it's all true and you're lying. Let's just say that. You're not going to come on there and say that you didn't. So the only way that we're going to be able to decide that here on this platform, because that's what this platform's about, is if you offer something that is able to make your story even more plausible.
Sure.
And so far, what you've offered me is flimsy, my brother. You've just given me a cousin I've already spoken to. Let me finish.
You just want to talk. I feel like it's your platform. You just want to talk.
Well, it is my platform, so I do reserve the right to just want to talk. I'm talking, and when I finish talking, you can talk, Luca. Thank you. So that's the point I'm trying to make to you. All right? Go ahead.
Now, I'm trying to understand how I can corrupt whatever the word's using. Yeah, how I can do any of that to lies? What am I supposed to do here?
Well, all right, I'll give you some examples then. Yeah, because actually, sister can't corroborate that you did do it. There were no family members that saw it happen. Nobody really saw it happen from her side, not visually saw it take place. But what they can corroborate is certain timelines, certain actions that was going on at the time, certain inconsistencies around her. That's what they can corroborate. You've offered us nothing, Luca. That's what I'm saying. You've given me a flimsy cousin. I say a flimsy cousin in the sense that somebody from your life that isn't just going to repeat your narrative without any kind of backup. That's what one would offer if it was there. No?
How can I have anybody to repeat my narrative? I stopped speaking to the girl. What do you want me someone to repeat? That we was fucking? I don't know what you want me to
No. What I'm trying to say to you. All right, let me put it more explicitly. Bring me somebody, like I asked you yesterday, who is going to tell me the things that you are saying about Sally is true. Bring me somebody like that. That's all you need to do. Around somewhere, because for 15 years there must be mutual people, Luca.
I can't speak. No, listen. There's no point. I can't take this shit, man.
No, maybe it is, Luca, that you want to always control the narrative in the conversation, and you don't like the fact that I talk when I'm allowed to talk or when I choose to talk. Maybe that's the issue. Because you seem to have been angst with that from the get-go.
I'm allowed to speak. You just let me know when I'm allowed to speak, Afua. Okay.
But I said to you, when I've finished, I will allow you to speak. And when I've allowed you to speak, you said, I can't even speak.
Can we get back to that again, please? Because you're telling me to corroborate something that is just lies. How am I supposed to get somebody to say that this person's a liar? I'm not running around going.
Well, earlier on,
you're not letting me speak. You see what I'm
saying?
All
right, go on then. I was just going to answer you. You ask questions like you've got a very strange way of.
I'm still talking. And then look, even when I'm doing this, you're still talking.
I've had to mute you. You ask a question. If that is you are talking, then I'm getting used to the way you communicate, Luca, because you say you ask the question. So I'm thinking you're asking me a question, therefore I answer it. But clearly you're not asking a question. It's a rhetorical question, clearly. You just want to ask questions, and that's how you speak. I'm getting used to that. So I don't mean to keep chipping in on you, but you do ask questions rather than just saying what you're saying. I'm not used to that way of communicating. I've unmuted you now. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. I can hear you. I can hear you.
She muted me.
What? No. I've taken you off mute now. I can hear you, Luca.
Is she talking? I don't know what she's saying because I can't hear her. I can't hear nothing.
Oh, you can't. We can hear you though.
How's she back on?
It's nothing to be embarrassed about.
We can hear you though. No, you've got me on YouTube, Luca. That's when you watch it, and that's not always in real time.
Hello,
so you need to come back on the link.
No, I'm back now. Hello.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say, Afua, is because you're saying about this corroborating and all that. Yeah, I'm not running around finding people to say, "Oh, do you know this girl? do you know that she's crazy? Do you? Listen, I've got a life. I've got kids in that. I'm not running around trying to. I'm not running around trying to diffuse lies and bullshit. What am I doing running around doing that?
Well, you're on here defending it at the moment.
I'm on here because you put my picture out there saying there's allegations. So I'm on here to show there's no allegations. I'm not hiding from nothing. There's nothing on my name.
Mm-hmm. All right, I hear that. But when I spoke to you yesterday, just between you and us, I said to you, is there anything you can give me to corroborate what you're telling me, right? You remember that? Do you remember that?
No, you said she's got family members. I said, but I've spoken to family members as well. And then I showed you the text that I've spoken, and then you want to shoot that down like, oh, you said family members, and now it's only one member. So what?
That's not a so what though, is it?
I don't know what that means. I'm saying I've spoken to a family member. There's the family member. I've showed you the whole text that I've spoken.
Can I respond to that, Luca? I need to respond to that. Because you and I were both in the conversation, and I actually pulled you on it in the conversation at the time yesterday. And what you said to me was, you were talking at the time, I was just listening. I didn't tell you what the full allegations were. I invited you to tell me because you started the conversation by saying, I know what this is about and blah, 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 blah. And I said to you, okay, so what do you think it's about? You said there's only one person it could be, and it's this person. I then said to you, okay, yeah, it is that person. And I put the allegations to you. Once you'd finished saying what you were saying, I said to you, I have spoken to some family members, just like I'm saying to you now, and they've corroborated some of what she's saying, but nobody has actually seen you do that. There's no eyewitnesses to this, right? And then I think what I'm trying to say is...
Can I just interject quickly? Nobody's corroborating nothing what she's saying. People are corroborating, saying that she's been saying this for a long time. That's what you said.
And that's what I told you yesterday.
Yeah, that's what. Don't say that people are corroborating.
So at the point, because you did interject.
1 second, because I need the people that are listening to hear this. The people are corroborating, saying that she's been saying this for a long time.
I've said this several times,
I'm telling you, she's been crazy. I showed you.
I've said this several times. So I'm sure the people are very aware of that now. Maybe you haven't picked up on it, but I've said it several times, what you just said. I've said it several times. Okay, we don't need to go there. What I'm saying is, okay, at the point where I said what I said to you yesterday, I then said to you, yeah, I've spoken to certain family members. I didn't tell you who. I just said to you, I've spoken to certain family members, and there are aspects of her story, parts of her story that they are able, and I'll say it again because I just said it just now, they are able to corroborate that, but nobody is able to corroborate the actual event. Okay? So let's just get that clear again. At that point, you said, but I know her family. I know her family. They know she's mad. She's mad. And I said to you, all right, who are these family members? Who are they? Who are these people that I can speak to? And then you said, I don't know all of her family. And I said, all right, well, who do you know? You said, well, I know a couple of people. And then I said, all right, can you give me both of their details so that I can contact them then? Just to kind of back up what you're telling me, that she's mad. Okay? And then it came down to, well, actually, I've only got one contact for one person, and I've only really ever spoken to one person. And I said to you at the time, well, Luca, we've gone from knowing all of the family to only knowing two of the family to only knowing one of the family. And you said, what's that supposed to mean?
Can I talk?
Would you say that is an accurate recollection of our conversation?
Can I talk again now?
I've just asked you a question.
Me saying I know her family means I know them two people. Me saying I can get contact with her family is the one person I've got on Facebook. That don't mean I don't know Sunil. That don't mean I don't know the auntie. I can't remember the auntie's name, but they live in the same area of me. They've gone to school with me and everything. What? Just because I can't get contact with? I don't get contact with a lot of people. I told you already. I'm not on this social network.
Well, that you're explaining and you're qualifying that, but that was the first thing that came out of your mouth.
I explained it to you earlier, and then you brought it back up again now. I already explained that to you.
Because I'm recollecting the conversation.
No, but
That's how it went down, right? Look, at the end of the day, all right, you've said that you've never taken any drugs. You've said that you've never kidnapped a nephew. You've said that you've never raped anybody by drugging them. You've said that you've not done any of these things, all right? I can give you my opinion based on who can corroborate what they're saying more than the other. Now, I'm not saying that Sally is able to fully corroborate anything, because she's not. She's not. And oftentimes, Luca, in cases such as this, like rape, like historic abuse, whatever, you don't have that kind of material evidence. Nobody's going to have an eyewitness. Nobody set up a camera in their room and captured material evidence. What the courts look at in terms of a burden of proof is, first of all, what they call genealogy. How many people have been told about this along the way? How many people have been aware that there was some sort of issue along the way? Has there been police reports that are historic? Are there medical reports along the way for bruises or anything like that? That's the kind of evidence we're going to talk about. Is there anybody else that can verify what the other person is saying? So, for instance, in your case, it would be that she's crazy, she's mad. Who else around you in your social circle, after 15 years of a friendship, relationship, hookupship, whatever it was, after 15 years, who in your circle, Luca, can corroborate that this woman is unstable? That's all I'm trying to ask. Because that's the kind of burden of proof that is usually required in historic cases where there are no material evidence. Is it clear?
Can I jump in now?
Please.
Yeah, can I jump in now? Yeah.
Please.
So
yeah.
why would I have anyone in my circle? Yeah, I've known the girl for 15 years. We were sexually, that's it. I don't want to say that.
So can I just chip in? Sorry, I want to clarify. I'm not cutting you. I just want to clarify. So are you saying for 15 years you had soul sex all alone, never was seen out together, and for 15 years that's what it was, just banging?
Basically. And then if we was out and that, like, rarely we get seen. Yeah. Also now, yeah, why the corroboration for her, I don't like calling people crazy, but I'm sure she's got crazy medical records. I'm sure she's on drugs for being crazy, or been on drugs for being crazy.
She's described the fact that her family were about to section her. She thought she was crazy. So, you know, that's not a defense either, is it? Because she said that, Luca.
Afua, listen to me. I don't know what else you want me to say. Innit? You're telling me that I'm supposed to bring this girl that I'm fucking. Why am I bringing a girl that I'm fucking around anybody?
For 15 years though, Luca. I don't know. Maybe I'm just, look, I'm in my 50s. Maybe I'm old school. Do you know what I mean? For 15 years, that sounds a little bit crazy to me.
Can I say something? Yeah? I've been fucking girls for longer than that. And
can we not use the F word, please?
Sorry, like, I've been sexually active with girls for longer than that, and I don't bring them around meeting people and that. What am I doing that for? I've got
I don't know this world. This many people world.
I'm not got like a. She's not my side relationship. I've got a whole.
But for 15 years though, wow.
I've got a whole family. What are you not?
I hear you. That's what you're telling me. I'm hearing it.
Every now and then. I don't understand what you want me to prove here.
Like I said, she's able to talk about boyfriends, for instance. You know, you clearly were around her in a capacity where she had other people around her. You're saying that it was a booty link that went on for a long, long time, and that you just had her hidden away in her environment, and she never came into yours. That's what you're saying, right?
That's how it is.
And fine. I mean, I accept that. I mean, it's a bit outside of my paradigm as a 50-odd-year-old woman, that kind of reality, but I hear you. I know it happens, you know? I know it happens. But look, we're not going to get to the bottom of did it happen or did it happen categorically. Do you understand?
Like we've got to
what I am saying is, yeah, go ahead.
I feel like we've got to the bottom of it. the girl is clearly we was linking, we stopped linking. Listen to the time frame that she's going on about. We was linking, we stopped linking. She's gone off on the rails, gone on her way, feeling some type of way. I get it. I'm sorry that she feels that way, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what I'm supposed to do there. I understand how it must feel that she thought she had someone that was close with her, and then that person's left her and just left her alone, and that. I understand all of that. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. There's no need to be saying any kind of crazy allegations on my name. I gotta say this again. I don't know how much people's on the live now. Can't see. Yeah. All praises to the Most High, the eternal creator of all of us. I have to keep saying that just to draw myself back. I'm protected, There's a saying in my community, yeah. And no weapon formed against me shall prosper. And this ain't prospering against me. This ain't getting over me. This whole load of I don't even know. It's like a kerfuffle.
You haven't been convicted of anything. You haven't been convicted of anything, Luca. And that may be, if you are guilty, then that's down to police incompetence and the usual story that we hear. 0.8% ends in a conviction. 1.8%. As I said, Luca. What?
What are you talking about conviction? Why are you talking about I haven't been convicted of anything? I don't understand.
I said you haven't been convicted of it, so I'm agreeing with you that nobody can say whether you did or you didn't.
There's nothing to be convicted of.
Are you listening?
No, I'm not listening because you're not listening to me. There's nothing.
No, I don't think you are listening. If I say you haven't been convicted of anything, it means that I can't say if you did it or not because you haven't been convicted. You seem like you've got a really short rag, Luca. Is that just because of these allegations, or are you normally like that?
Of course, my name's been dragged through it. Listen, I feel like I've got to try and calm myself down again.
Okay. Listen, and I appreciate that. If you're not guilty and you've been accused of something, you're going to be pissed off.
Again, you just don't let me talk. You've put a post up about me, yeah? My friend's mom is messaging my friend saying, yo, what's going on here? My name, these allegations underneath my name with my picture has dragged me through the dirt. There's people on these posts that are commenting, calling me all kinds of names and that. Whether I get convicted or not, if these people see me in the street, they're going to think I'm that person when I'm not that person at all. Not even close.
What do you say to the fact that there are family members that have corroborated that you didn't have a relationship? You were just the weed man.
Keep going back to this.
No, but they've corroborated that you were the weed man. You're saying you had a relationship.
She has got sexual tapes of she's recorded me and her. She's recorded, not me recording. Yeah. She does whatever she needs to do to get.
How do you know that she's recorded that?
Because she told me. She's laughed at me saying she's getting paid off the sex tapes that she's made with me. She's laughed at me saying she's getting paid off the sex tapes she's made of me.
All right, so you're saying you said it categorically as if you'd seen it. This sex tape.
Afua, she's laughing at me, saying to me she's getting paid from the sex tapes that she's made of me. How much time do you want me to say the same thing? Why do I need to watch a sex tape for?
No, I'm saying you're telling me the existence of this sex tape with you two having sex together. I'm telling you that her family members, there are family members that have corroborated the fact that you were the weed guy. Do you understand? And you're saying, no, we had a relationship and she's got a sex tape. So the way that you said it is as if you've seen the sex tape or you could produce it.
We were having. I've not said it as if I've seen it. I said it how I just said it. She's laughing at me on the phone saying, I'm getting paid.
No, you qualified that now afterwards. Initially, you said she's got a sex tape of us having sex. And I said, oh, have you, where were you? How do you know? And then you qualified it.
And then I told you how I knew, but you keep going back over it.
No, I'm trying to tell you the way that When you say she's got
again, listen to me, I feel like I don't talk how you talk. I don't talk how that person talks. I talk how I talk, you know.
Right, and I'm telling you that the way that you speak is difficult to understand sometimes, Luca. So I'm getting you to qualify what you're saying. That's all.
Yeah, but I said it. I've said it like 50 times. I'm sure. So
right. So we don't know for certain if there's a sex tape. She hasn't shown me a sex tape, and you can't produce a sex tape either. She just told you. So that's what it is. That we don't know if the sex tape exists. Yeah.
She's told me, but also we don't know about none of these allegations. She's just told you. But
and I've said that because the word allegation speaks to them.
I'm still speaking. I feel like again you're just talking over me all the time. You didn't do this to her once.
Oh, of course I've done it.
Empathy and that for this person. What I'm saying is, yeah, she's told me about a sex tape, yeah, and then you've just said, oh, she just told you that, though, innit? But she's also just told you about this. Nobody's corroborating.
I didn't say that she just told you that.
I feel like I'm still talking.
Yeah, but if you're talking inaccuracies, Luca, I'm going to correct you.
Every time you talk inaccuracies, I can't cut in. I have to wait till you finish talking, don't I?
But you do cut in, though.
But you don't let me. I have to wait till you finish talking, don't I? But now what I'm saying is, yeah, she's saying to you that she's give you some crazy allegations, and you've ran with that and posted a picture everywhere. You've corroborated it by what another person saying, oh yeah, she said that to me. That's corroborating something.
What I said
yeah, she said that to me. Oh yeah, she said that to me. Oh yeah, let's run with this story.
That's actually the way that you framed it, and that's not what I said.
That's how it sounds.
That's how it sounds to you. That's how it sounds to you. What I said is that nobody, I'm going to say it once more and only once more, Luca, because this is getting frustrating now. Yeah. What I said to you is that nobody has been a witness to the crime. That's what I said. But there are aspects of her story where people can corroborate what she was saying, how she was behaving, and the consistencies in that story have never changed. And it's been corroborated. That's all I said. But you're trying to, it sounds to me as if you've received that as being, her family have corroborated what she's saying against me. No one has corroborated anything more than her timeline. So the point I was trying to make was, the point that, see, now you're cutting in, which you've been doing. So the point that I was trying to make is that she has offered more corroboration than you. That's all I've said. And it's the truth. She has. Yeah.
How am I supposed to corroborate?
All right, we're going around in circles now because you've asked that question about 56 times, and I've told you how you could corroborate, but you're not accepting that.
How? I must find someone and say, excuse me, remember this girl here? Remember this girl here that I was doing a thing with? Ain't she crazy? Remember this girl here that I was doing a thing with? Ain't she crazy? Nobody remembers her.
Well, you've said that you had her in isolation and that you never brought her around in your circles, and that's a plausible explanation as to why you cannot produce anyone. Which I said to you before. Yeah? So to be honest with you, Luca, and Sally's here listening, she's backstage, I don't feel I can call this one way or the other, quite frankly. I really don't at this stage. I don't.
I need a post of an apology and that, because I'm not having that. You can't call.
No, I'm not going to apologize unless I know categorically that you haven't done it, and you've not been able to prove that to me in any way.
You don't know categorically.
Why would I apologize if I cannot say whether you've done it or not?
Listen to me. You don't know categorically that anything's happened.
I've just said that.
Yeah, so why would you run with something that you don't know if anything's happened, but you're gonna keep with the narrative?
I don't know how many more times I have to say it. It is an allegation, Luca. No one said categorically that you did it from the start to now. And I don't know why people keep telling me that sister hasn't given proof. I've not said once to Sally that I believe her. I've presented this story as a peculiar story because we don't know one way or the other how to call it. I've presented it as that. But what I have said is that Sally has offered more corroboration to her narrative than you have, Luca. And I'm not going to say it any more times because that's where I stand on this. And that's it. So I haven't got anything else to add to you. I don't know if you've got anything else to add to me. But at this stage, I'm going to wrap up the live. We've been going 2.5 hours, and that's my final word.
How many people are on the live?
At this point, it's gone down a little bit now. It's 376 people.
All praises to the Most High, the eternal creator of all of us. We give thanks, people. Everyone give thanks every day. Go on, then you can lock me off now. I'm gone. We're done.
Thank you, Luca.
Yeah, peace.
Right, Sally.
Hello.
Yeah. Sis, can you appreciate how difficult it is for the listener to separate all these strands and to actually say who they believe or not? Can you appreciate that for yourself?
Yeah, I can.
I know you can.
I totally understand. Like I've said, it sounds crazy. There's the friend of his that I was seeing first that can say when I met him, and he has actually seen us another time. And yeah, and there's just a lot of bullshit he's just saying. A lot. Just to try and cover himself and say I'm crazy.
It's a difficult one, sis. Absolute difficult one. It really is.
There's a lot of other things. Obviously, I know his cousin had seen my nephew, and I remember his cousin also asking me, are you like with anyone? And I'm like, no, I'm not. I've not got a boyfriend or anything. And now I'm realizing probably why he was asking me that, because they're having their own discussion about this boy and me and whatnot. So his cousin knows. His people know. He can lie all he wants, say what he wants. My friends know. I've got friends that I've had for years that have seen a change in me since 2020. So it's just funny how my behavior and everything in my life has changed a lot since he found someone new to manipulate and use to live with, because he hasn't got a home, and that's what he does. Met this person and then started living with them straight away in a HMO. So
I just want to point out, sister, I believe that at least one of Luca's baby mothers is in the comments tonight. I do believe that from some of the things that person's been saying. And there's a few other people that I've never seen before that seem to be some of his supporters. So, you know, anyone reading the comments need to understand that it's always going to be a balance between people that are on the other person's side, and necessarily whether it's factual or not is another story. That's all I've got to say, really, because nobody's coming with any real facts here. Not you, not Luca, and not the people in the chats. They've not bothered to jump on and have their say.
There is like doctors. Was going to the doctors
no.
saying about bruises and marks on my feet and things.
When I say real, I know you've shared enough for me to bring you on. Put it that way. You understand? Yeah. But that's what I was trying to explain to Luca when I say corroboration. Not just the family members, but other stuff you've shared as well. Is that you can corroborate a lot of what you're saying to me.
Like pains that I was having down below, and then I'm going to the doctors and I'm saying I'm having these pains, but I'm not sexually active with anyone. So, and the doctor actually saying to me, you should get cameras. And I'm like, why? Nothing could be happening. Why would you say that?
There's somebody, I'm going to go to the comments now. So Crystal is saying, Afua, I'm definitely not Luca or Sally's friend, but I know bias when I see it. Now, you may well, Crystal, perceive that as bias, but as you just heard Sally say, I have had sight of so much more evidence to corroborate what this sister is telling me. And I've invited Luca time and time and time again to give me something similar. in terms of evidence. It could just be anything. He can't give me anything. And he wants me to believe that for 15 whole years, he locked this woman off to a point where, you know, he didn't even speak to a mate of his, maybe whether the mate met her or not, but even not even a mate of his that could say that he said, you know what, this gal is crazy. She's been doing this and she's been doing that. I find that less plausible. That's all I'm saying. I still can't call it though. But this sister here has offered more. That's what I'm saying. I can't post people's medical records. That's what it is. You understand? This woman is sat in a room full of her family right now who haven't chosen to speak, but I know that they're there. You understand? And these people are corroborating a lot of what she's telling me. And that's it. You know? She's not fake. She's here. The guy knows her. And I'm telling you that's what it is. But I've told the brother from yesterday, send me something. He sent me a screenshot of a screen recording of a conversation he had with her cousin 4 or 5 years ago in relation to what she already told us, which was that she started posting him. How is this anything that's going to help his situation or his story? There's not anything that's going to help his story, people. Do you understand? That's what he posted me. That was it. And I think there was some evidence of a police report or something like that. Yeah, fine. She's not been convicted. Same way like he hasn't been convicted. Yeah. And I'm just trying to put things in the balance. That's what I'm trying to do. It is a hard one to call. It's a very hard one to call. But I'm inclined to believe Sally more. Why? Because Sally has provided way more corroboration than Luca has. And that's kind of where I am. Well, actually, Jay Gregory, when you say that the family are not going to disbelieve her, she will be seen in a particular light due to her culture versus his. Nah. They're both from a similar culture. He's Asian. You're Asian too, sister. He's already said your name, so there's no point even concealing that part. It's not that, Gregory. The family didn't believe her at first. They were willing to section her. She didn't believe herself at first. She thought she was crazy. That is very significant. And I spoke to her mother, and her mother has confirmed that they thought she was mentally unwell when these things were taking place. But she's clearly not mentally unwell. She's been through the grind of that. There's been no diagnosis on the back of all of that. You've been in touch with services, sis. You've been to the police. You've been to services. Nobody has
I'm also not on any medication, nor have I been on any medication, and I can send you records of that as well.
Right. Absolutely.
I should after dealing with this, I should have, but I dealt with it a different way. I left the country.
Heavens, so. Yeah, exactly. Heaven is he's not mixed race, is he, Luca? He's not mixed race, black and white, is he?
His mom is mixed race and his dad is Yemen or something.
From Yemen, okay. Yeah, so he's got everything mixed up in him. But his father being from Yemen.
And can I just say that I am aware from conversations with his cousin, and I'm aware that his family, his mom, I don't know if I should say this, but he's calling me crazy and trying to say I'm on medication, but he should maybe look closer to home about that, because
all right, let's leave it at that. Let's not reveal anything about anyone in his family or anything, sis. Let's leave it at home, yeah, let's leave it there. Well, sorry, Crystal says he's not Asian, whatever. He's Yemeni. Of course he's got Asian in him. And according to yourself, Sally, he kind of plays between black and Asian culture living in Birmingham, does he not? And he's got an Asian father.
And he has in the past, he's been asking me about my language and
so irrelevant.
Trying to learn my language in past conversations, which I think is related to my nephew, obviously. The
Mhm.
things that I've been learning and speaking and remembering and, you know, speaking to
Mhm.
my family about and things. So
Mhm.
there's a lot more to this
We
that
know.
I could
Sorry,
go on
sorry.
about, but
I'm still in the comments here. Sorry, we know where Yemen is, but if you look at the demographic of Yemen, the population of Yemen, what you're going to find is majority Arab people. Doesn't mean that you don't get black Yemeni people. Of course you do, but that's not what his dad is. His dad is Yemeni, Asian, Arab, right? That's what you told me before. Is that right, Sally?
yes, that's what he's told me.
Absolutely. And he kind of looks that way to me. Some people confuse that look with being mixed race, black and white, but it's really not that. Anyway, it's irrelevant, really, what he
Yeah.
is, you know? Anyway, we're going to wrap it up, my sister. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you for, yeah, there are toxicology reports, Sally. Sister just already said that already. So, yeah, that's definitely going to be something that's going to be landing on my table. And you've provided quite a lot of evidence already, sis, from when I first started speaking to you. You were very, very ready and willing to provide family members' details. And I haven't seen you hold back in any way, shape, or form. But I'm not going to repeat myself. I've said where I stand on it. People need to go back and listen very carefully to my words, because I'm very careful about how I choose them to try to explain what I'm trying to say. My sister, you've been an absolute trooper in sharing your story. It is your story. None of us can sit and say whether that is true or not true. It is your story. And in the same way that Luca has come and presented his story, it is his story. Like I said to him, I can't say if it's true or it isn't true. There isn't enough compelling evidence, enough to say that you categorically definitely did this. Do you understand? But I'm concerned about some of the gaps in what you're saying, and I'm concerned about the fact that there's nobody on your side that can corroborate it apart from what you tell them. Yeah, and that's kind of where we stand on it, my sister. But you've been an absolute trooper. Thank you for sharing your story, sis. I will jump on with you after the live, but I'm just going to wrap up right now.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, my love. I think you've been amazing. Thank you. I'll speak to you in a bit.
Listening to me.
No
Bye-bye.
worries. Bye-bye. And you know, the other thing that people need to understand as well with this, and people like Luca as well, you need to understand this platform has been, always has been, and continues to be a safe space for alleged victims. Sometimes we know they are categoric victims, but also alleged victims to tell their stories. That's what this space is about. And I said it to Luca yesterday, we always come from the standpoint that we believe the sister. Put up a 1, his time is up. Original people that understand how we deal with things. Whether people agree with it or not, that's the way we've always dealt with it on this platform. It's always been controversial, but that's the way we deal with it. I'm not gonna go over it again, and I'm not here to apologize to nobody for the way we deal with it. But as you can see, we try to look at the facts. Thank you, Heaven, and all the others who's put up a 1. You guys understand how we do things, yeah? No one's accused him of it. I've had people on here where the evidence is so compelling against them that I slaughter them when they come on because it's so compelling. You didn't see me deal with the brother like that because, as I said to him before, and as I'm saying again, and I've said it on the live 100 times, nobody can call this one. I can't call this one 100%. But the sister has provided way more in terms of substance and corroboration to some of her timelines and behaviors that link up. She's provided way more. He can't provide a single thing, not a thing. Not even a brethren that can say, do you know what? 4 years ago, he told me what she was doing. Nothing. So that's kind of difficult for me. If he'd been able to do at least that, then I'd probably be a little bit more in his favor. So we start from the standpoint, and I explained that to the brother before he came on. We come from the standpoint that we believe the women who come to us because they do go through a filter, and that's why we believe them, because they've given us enough for us to believe them, to have honest opinion is what it's called legally. Doesn't mean it's true, but it means it's my honest opinion based on the evidence that I've seen. And that's legal. That's okay. Yeah? So for those of you that don't understand, the social media people that chuck things and don't understand the way that we do things on here, it is what it is. I've just explained it. Take it or let it alone. Don't like it, unsubscribe, turn off, do what you got to do. That's the way it is. And thank you, Heaven. Conviction doesn't equate to guilty or not guilty fundamentally, because we've seen miscarriages of justice, and he was upset that I kept mentioning stats. I don't know why that was getting him upset. I don't think he understood why I was doing that. 0.8% of these types of crimes end in a charge, and 1.8% ends in a conviction. That shows you the low. But yet, sorry, before I go on, but yet the amount of women that report these crimes year on year is over 50%, and it goes up year on year and year. So how are we only getting 0.8% of charges and 1.8 of convictions? There's something fundamentally wrong in the system, because all of those women can't be lying, or all of those women can't be crazy and mad. Yeah? It can't all be that. It must be that something in the system is not happening that is protecting victims. That's what we're saying here. And that's the reason why when a sister puts herself out there to be scrutinized, to have people in the comments chatting horrible things about her, or him, because we've had men on here share their stories too, but a victim comes forward, a survivor comes forward and shares their story in what is a safe space, and people come on from the other side and start slating them. Nobody really wants to put themselves through that. No, nobody really does. And as I said, we have filters, and we're not going to put a woman on here or a man on here, a victim on here, unless we are happy that those filters warrant the person to be on here. We're not going to do that. And whether you guys get to see the evidence or don't see the evidence, remember there's an ongoing police investigation, you know. And when that happens, I don't show everything. That's the way it goes. Thank you, Heaven. I look forward to that. We have spoken about that in private. But anyway, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap it up. Jeez, it's been a long one tonight. We haven't had a marathon like this for a minute. We really haven't. I didn't get to corroborate with him whether or not he knew Dylan Duffus, but he certainly didn't refute it, and he had been listening. So give me a message if you don't know Dylan Duffus, Luca. I don't know if you're still listening, but if you missed it somewhere, let me know. But I do think you do know him. So let me know if you do or you don't. But I find that quite compelling in the sense that if you've parred around him and he's been accused of that and you've been accused of that, as much as that would be circumstantial in a regular criminal court, it's still very compelling. It kind of just raises food for thought, doesn't it? You know, and that's as much as I'll say on that one. But anyway, it is what it is. You can please some of the people some of the time, but you can't please all of the people all of the time. Blessed love, his time is up, family. We done know. Ras Luca, you're trying to call me. It is now my bedtime. We're not going to have another conversation tonight. I will call you tomorrow, though, Ras Luca. When you look back at this live, you'll see why I didn't answer your call. Because you're calling me on Instagram again now. And I need to go sleep. People, thank you once again. We will be back next week, as always. And just listen out for the bulletins during the week. Heaven, thanks again, always, for your powerful contributions, my sister. I don't know if even the mods were able to last the distance. I think Love, Peace and Unity was or wasn't. I don't know. I can't see her comments for a while. But I just want to big up everybody, man. I want to big up everybody. And we will absolutely keep doing what we always do. Blessed love, people. Blessed love.